Hello, 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 and welcome to this Club Wars Scrim between Exotic French and the illustrious Temteros. I am Quarter, and of course, with me is Tsubaki himself.
Hello everyone, how are you doing, guys? Nice to see you. And thank you for being there like always, Quarter, really appreciate it.
Anytime, basically anytime. These are so much fun to cast. I keep saying this, but the reason why I like Club Wars is it's some of the best matches you'll ever see, packed into just a shotgun shell of action in a small period of time. The best of 9 format with the 5 heading alongside it just makes for some absolutely amazing plays and some very good opportunities to showcase on a number of separate fronts. Obviously, Exotic French has a roster longer than my actual arm, but I'm also interested in seeing what and who Temteros bring to the table. I did a bit of talking about them just last week, actually, on my podcast, but I know that they've got Poramans, Alver, and a couple other people. Let me have a look at those names again.
Yeah, they actually have a lot of people. Their community is really big, but not a lot are known in PvP at the moment, but they're definitely rising. Hey Nofia, how are you doing? Surak, Lucas, Classics, Neko, Parting, by the way, thanks a lot for the 3 months, really appreciate it. It means a lot what you say, thank you.
No worries. Yeah, looking at this, we also have Magic Kindred, who I kind of forgot about.
True, like a warlord of the market.
Absolutely. It'll be I notice he's 1360 or something like that as his peak, so we could be seeing him go for things as well. 1335, my mistake.
Yeah, they're definitely all playing a lot of PvP. I see their discords like every day. It was a lot of people doing PvP against each other in training.
I just checked Magic Kindred's. I mixed up his current and his peak. His current's 1335, but he was 1822 at one point. We could definitely see Magic on the ladder. Well, today is what I mean.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we will see who they will bring. Hello, Genshin. Hello, Tiki. And Gratzna. So, let me see if they are ready as well. I know Exotic is already waiting.
Oh, yeah? So that means you already know who's playing on Exotic French's side. Are you still waiting for the people on Temteros to get in contact with you then, or are we basically good to go?
No, we're waiting still for Temteros. They said as well, like, we'll start a couple of minutes after 8 o'clock, because we start the stream just for 8 o'clock, actually.
Ah, well, there we have it. Well, that means we got a little bit of time to once again discuss potential rosters and options there. Obviously, Dirty Taifu is somebody who I expect to see in larger settings. I don't know if they're just going to be showcasing new players as well.
Probably. I mean, I actually know who is playing, but like I'm not gonna talk too much about it.
Oh, okay. That's fair enough.
I mean, they don't know, so let's give the surprise. Antosik, no, I'm hosting and being the referee at the same time. I will not play against Temteros. I actually still didn't play a single Club Wars of all the Club Wars scrims are organized.
You've been pretty true to form about that, but I feel like it's such a hard thing turning off the casting opportunity there is the thing, because like you're setting this up and it's just such a fantastic showcase of other people in the first place.
Yeah. Absolutely cute. Thank you for the follow. Welcome, mate. And Nofiel, if you don't know Quarter, you have a problem.
I know, Phil. It's you've run into me before. I guarantee it.
For sure.
I still remember you in the joust. It was great times. I am also known as Far Thing, but yeah, no, I generally go by Quarter. It's I'm just glad to be here. Should be good times.
I mean,
Also, this wasn't an opportunity for me to like dig at the roster of exotic French. I genuinely was just curious about Temteros because they have three separate. I keep forgetting that they actually have like three separate clubs I have to look at.
too many members.
120, and it's like, what?
And yeah, Ursula Q Quarter is the caster that is 90% of the time casting with me. Like, I love casting with him. In my opinion, one of the best casters as well. So
You're way too kind. I really one of the things I enjoy is the our perspectives on how a match goes align in a lot of good ways, and then like where they deviate winds up being colorful.
that's nice.
So let's see now. I'm looking through. Okay, this was the problem I had because it's like trying to sort through the people that actually have TMR. Matakukis. That's a mouthful of a name, but it's definitely somebody who we could expect to see today. They're online.
No, I know. I'm like joking around. So yeah, we have the two names, by the way. How can someone don't know Quarter's impressive voice? Bennett. So guys, we have the two names for each. I mean, the name for each club. So for exotic French, it will be a Homelander, and for Temteros, it will be Kaimi. So let me do a coin flip as well to see who will invite.
Is Homelander their IGN?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I suppose.
I'm just trying to make sure here. Because they're not online at the moment.
So, wait. I'm gonna ask to be sure. But, Neko, t'es sur le stream? Tu veux quoi, Ed ou Tails?
Drum roll.
I'm still waiting for Neko answer. Heads? Okay. So, heads will be for exotic and tails will be for Temteros. Let's go. Tails, so Temteros will be able to decide what they want.
Fantastic. For those uninitiated in the Club Wars format, once again, just a quick summary while we wait for everybody to get in game. Both teams have 5 players on them. They will choose one of those players to bring forward and face off against the other one. They will, in the meantime, be advising those players behind the scenes on their plays and like working together to ensure that everything works well inside the match. If you're eliminated, but you can still advise your teammates. First person to lose all their players loses. Most importantly, you can also swap out your victorious player as you choose. You can keep them in and just continue YOLOing it down mid as you choose, or alternately, you can swap people out to go for scouts, or alternately to surprise your opponent if they're trying to counterpick into you. It adds a lot of nuance and excitement to the format. And this is precisely the issue that I had. Homelander is not in game.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if that is in fact their in-game name.
That is not his EGN. The Homelander is his EGN.
Is that with a Z? Oh, the Homelander.
The Homelander, yeah. So, Temteros will be inviting.
Fantastic. Well, I've seen Okay, so actually, I have a small amount of information that might be accurate about what Homelander might be packing today.
Yeah, he played the Beginner's Cup.
Yeah, I didn't actually wind up seeing that, but I do know he's been talking in Paradox recently about Tortonite-oriented teams, so I wouldn't be surprised to see one on him this match.
True, let me cut the music because they are in. So, settings, audio.
Boy, am I wrong. This is pretty conventional, exotic French style, all good leads team.
True.
There's a scunch instead of the mouflank or the like extra other neutral option there, but otherwise it's pretty dyed in the wool. In the meantime, though, Kami's bringing a bit of sauce. I don't usually see this orientation of like it appears to be vaguely inspired by the sort of conventional sort of toxic comps that I've seen before, but there's more of the stall in there than I expected. Like the mix is kind of a wild card.
True. And sorry, just quick reminder, guys. I just started the prediction. If you wanna bet, well, enjoy. And yeah, like you say, this is so exotic French.
Absolutely. For those unaware, basically everything inside this can be used to make a frightening offensive lead. Just looking at this, like we've got, of course, Koish Cernif, we've got Barnshi Cernif, we have actually, I don't think you ever lead Kinu. Oh, you could lead Kinu Valish if they don't ban the Valish like they did here. But then we also, of course, have Scunch Koish if you choose to go for that. Volfi and any number of these still works well inside that. There's just a good amount of variety in how you can open with that.
Definitely having so many choices for. I mean, the first first and second turn means so much in a battle. Just tells you who will get the momentum, and then it's hard to lose it if you don't make a mistake. So
that though, with the Kinu ban onto Kami there, it's definitely looking like Homelander wants to press that advantage and not have to deal with a bunch of this stall.
yeah, press mark.
Yep.
I mean, Kinu, when you play aggro, I feel Kinu is just always a really good ban.
Oh yeah. Unless there's something that just hard counters your team, you want to pick into that. And
Yep.
one of the upsides of good leads team is that you don't necessarily get hard walled by any one thing.
True, and we don't see a Naga here, like that could be his ban otherwise, probably, even if True Nature's plus Valorant.
Actually, yeah, if this team had any guys on it, then the Valash ban would basically require you to deal with it or have a good idea of what you want to do. Like maybe you go Volfi Cerny for that, or like Vola Cerny if you're run. The problem is you're usually running Arrow on this team.
Yeah, definitely. And hola Sime, muchas gracias. Salut Lala.
And with that, we basically have this is dyed in the wool, like just Kilima meta as I've seen. I haven't seen actually a Scunch Koish in a while.
I mean, I feel lately I played a couple of Scunch, honestly. And I'm thinking about bringing him as well, but really completely different from normal. I just feel Scunch, because mentals were really reduced to 2 mentals mostly. Some teams even have only 1. So Scunch is a real monster if there are no mentals.
I can agree with that. If the challenge with that is the mental coverage that comes from a lot of other things, but we have seen a dearth of those as well as of late. Like Nidrasil has been at an all-time low outside of a couple key compositions that can keep it alive inside Ketsa meta. I like the Mashuk pickup here from Kami though. I feel like that if this is a tenderness Mashuk, then this could be exactly what Kami needs to try to attend to some of this early aggression. But yes, Homelander needed to ban that Calibus. I was about to comment on that.
Yeah, Matruk already feels a bit harsh, honestly, because he's annoying for most of his Tems, except of course the 2 birds, but...
I mean, there's also Kinu to deal with it.
Sure. If it's not banned here, but...
I'm also not sure how much you want to actually bring Kinu into a stall game. Like, that's basically just inviting Kami to capitalize on their win condition if you want to go fast here.
Well, Kami doesn't have much buffers, to be honest, in his stall team. Like, it's a stall, but just with Kinu and probably Grumper Stonewall, but...
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting that to be a sort of hardcore Grumper. But looking at this could actually be some sort of a hybrid offensive build instead. The problem is they can look so similar.
Yeah. I mean, on the side of Homelander, you have, like, only high damage Temtems.
Yeah, no, it's pretty straightforward there. It's like 7 aggro Tems and a Kinu.
Feels actually strange having it when you don't. I mean, why not Yolar then too? Even if he's slow.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's the Tem that I usually see instead of Scunch on this team.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's even against mentals.
absolutely. You just suplex them, as the meme goes. With that, though, we're into our game one of Temteros versus Exotic French, and I'm interested in seeing what Kami does here. If this is a tenderness Machoke like I'm expecting, then this is going to be a bit nightmarish for Homelander trying to press the advantage here. However, if he's able to P-jab Katsa this Vola and take it out this turn, then things should snowball from there because honestly, a lot of the backline does not really want to try to take this kind of damage.
I mean, Urshel Noxious Bomb could, even depending on his TVs, like, kill it with the tick, but... Or just turn
On
2
the speed
then,
of
but...
Valorant as well.
Yeah. Valorant really depends on his TVs, because like you said, yeah, he can just be one-shotted. If it's aerobic... No, even if it's aerobic, it want to die first, so... Hello,
Well,
Mizet. I really love Monsieur D.
yeah, well, one of the things that actually is in Kami's favor here is the fact that this is a P-Jab Ketsa team, meaning that it's unlikely to be as fast as you would want it to be. It has to be like at max 170 for the Scunch, meaning that you have a 169 Koish. So if you're outspeeding that, you're Gucci. And that's if the Homelander's going max speed. I always have to consider that because it's Exotic French. You guys are known for running max speed on things.
Not as much as Ronin, but...
Okay, Kami blinks and instead chooses to bring in the Grumper on, I'm assuming, the P-Jab Ketsa. That's still going to smart from the P-Jab, but Kama will at least absorb that.
Ooh, didn't want to take a Urshel? Yeah. Expecting Urshel, maybe?
I'm kind of surprised about that play from Homelander, if I'm honest. Like, yes, you expect the Urushiel, but if I'm running Scunch Koish lead, oh, okay, if you're expecting the tenderness and you want to keep that going, then I suppose that makes more sense. If you're unsure you're going to outspeed.
And like, if you're not sure for, I don't know which probable reason actually, because you nearly always one-shot the Valorant. If you don't one-shot the Valorant, yeah, he loses Koish, but like, not with tenderness, of course.
No, the tenderness would have been very crippling on Koish, but Stormfront here is probably not going to mind as much. I mean, generally Valorant still doesn't like the Feathergat no matter what trait you're running, but if this is aerobic, then sure, your Feather Gatling doesn't hurt as much, your Nox Bomb doesn't hurt as much, but you're really clicking those moves to get HKS up.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, holding, he needs, without the Fire Koish, getting through mix will be so hard, and even Cerny, if it's a Velocity, gonna be hard.
Mm-hmm. I agree with this. Especially since, once again, we're seeing the Kinu getting last picked there, meaning that there is the potential for this game to slow down massively in comparison. Sort of belies that. But we see the Oshidashi come down on the mix, and the cheeky Puppet Master just into that with 39.7% for Kami there, working out beautifully.
Wow.
And that's as high as it gets for Puppet Master as well. So that's outside of a plume threat.
Yeah, definitely. And if you look at his team, he has no other AoE than Valorant that has already -1 special defense. So like 2 spikes is dead. He won't have the time to like spend another toxic plume.
Meaning that you have to rely on Kinu or Valorant to take out the Machoke. And that's not going to be happening easily. This is looking very swiftly like it's in Kami's favor.
Definitely. Because Machoke is one of the other things, like, if you kill the Valorant, how do you go through Machoke?
It has to be Kinu, and Kinu melts. Okay, it depends on the Kinu spread once again. If this is like a specially defensive Kinu, it could eat 2 crystal spikes from this mix and take out the Machoke in that period of time. The problem is then Grumper comes in or something like that and still eats the beta bursts.
Mm. Yep.
My real concern here is the number of tendernesses that this Machoke has thrown around already. The -1 attack on Scunch right here is really going to hurt.
It's huge, but he really needs to stop now. -1 does the job and needs now to either switch or do some pressure. I would probably switch, but like if you look at Grumper, except for Valorant, he's like completely not that useful. I mean, against Koish it's okay, but
Yeah, he's got other answers for Koish is the thing.
Yep.
Even the Cernif does pretty well into it, and it
Uh,
looks like it's the swap you expected.
yeah.
I'm curious about that Jutsu play as well.
Or the Emanip to be quicker, to be sure to be quicker than Emanip. But
Yeah, but you
Emanip
don't die
would
to
not
non
kill.
even up his scunch.
Yeah, but maybe he could have switched it to Cernif and he took that in as a possibility. Well, he
That's-
doesn't really like.
While that's fair, I tend to be an advocate of like if you're not sure that your scunch is going to die that turn, then there's no actual. Okay, he could have been expecting the Psy Surge. That's one other thing, I suppose. But like, I don't know.
I mean, that would always be slower anyways if it was Psy Surge.
It's
What
just
I
kind of
really
my
wonder
point.
as well is there's no Toxic Plant.
That's actually a reasonable point. Like, you still want to be at least getting those out there and getting some damage on this mix.
Yeah. I mean, of course he couldn't stay one more time, but he would have done one, just go a bit on the back, try to come back on a Revitalize or something and get Toxic Plume again, and then it's a death of mix. Because he has no other way to deal with it.
Yeah, outside of powering through everything else on the other side, and the moment Valorant goes down, Mashuk is gone. Sorry, Mashuk just runs away with the game, is what I mean to say there. Now, one upside here is that Oshi and Hyper into the Grumper spot here does a reasonable job. The problem is, like, if we're expecting a Cernif swap or something like that, then that still gets eaten relatively comfortably.
Yep. And both of them just die here, if they stay alive. I mean, of course Grumper would die first, so that's okay, but he can kill whoever he wants with mix.
Maybe it's just my first impression because this looks like such a smork team, but like, I'm not comfortable with the swaps here. You just gotta keep your boys in and die, right?
Yeah, actually, Scunch is quicker than Mix. What he should have done all the time is actually just kill Grumper and attack Mix with Vola.
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. The swaps here means that he's getting chip damage onto Wee Wee here that he doesn't necessarily need.
Yeah, actually the problem would be, would Feather Gatling be enough to kill Mix? Because if it's Iroh, minus one attack, it never
You're
kills.
right. The HKS would have been too
Yeah,
quick.
so you can't HKS.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually a good play. You don't want to lose Valorant in that case.
I suppose. Maybe I'm being too harsh on this. It's interesting to see either way. I mean, the Homelander is starting to bring things back here. Taking down the Grumper was important. We're back into the question of, oh god, there's a Mashuk here. How do I deal with it?
You could never actually attack with Vola. Everything you do is just too quick.
I think at this point, though, the Homelander just has to wait for a Scunch to die to bring in the Volaren safely again.
Do you really want him to die? I think this is just a perfect time to switch into Cerny for Kino.
I had forgotten about that as an option. And it looks like... No, it's a hard swap into Volarend. Is this a water cannon into something? As the mix retreats for Kami's own Volarend. Okay, so we see the turbo choreography go down onto Kami's Vola, which is very important as well. And the Ketsa, this was predicting the swap because of low stamina, perhaps?
I don't know, this is really strange.
Like, that is a wild read on a turn, but I mean, hey, it works out for Homelander here.
Yeah, it was the arrow, sure.
Definitely a bit surprising, but it is what it is.
Actually, I think I would just hyper the Machuk and not the Valorant. Because whatever comes there doesn't like it. If it's Mix, it kills Valorant anyways. And then Koish kills Mix. If it's Cerny, if he really doesn't like it neither. And Ketsa will kill Valorant.
Yeah,
so,
this is fair. Mashuk's the only thing that eats the Ketsa, and Mashuk's on the field.
Yeah, and Machuk is annoying, except of Kinu, but Kinu's not that easy to like stay and just attack.
Yep, but most of the things that would want to come in on that are the sort of things that would be threatened by this combination of attacks going onto both slots.
Hmm. Let's see
Yeah, this makes sense.
how they decide to move.
With that in mind, though, I feel like Kami wants to keep this Mashuk alive. It's
Me
just
too.
doing so much work here, and it's very valuable into the Cernif later on if it comes to that.
Yeah, with +2 speed, you can have Temteros before Cernif will live in an attack.
Oh, yeah. Which, if Homelander isn't running settling, then that could be a serious problem. Now, normally I would expect settling on a team like this, but we've already seen the Kinu in there and safe plays coming out of Homelander's side, so it could actually just be like a hybrid stall comp, and like, I'm spitballing here, maybe there's Stonewall on the Valash or something like that. Ah! So no feel. One other thing that is common inside Club Wars environments is that since you've got 5 people making decisions, sometimes people wind up running out of time. Although this time we do have the Kinu swap coming in for the Fire Koish here, giving it a little buff.
But yeah, no, I think you're right. I hope not, but okay, he attacked. And hello, Dryzart. Hyper doing 50% of damage of Kinu.
Over, actually.
Just a Noxious Bomb finish it.
Oh, no!
Tenderness will not kill Valorant because of it. Definitely good play. I really think he should have all the time Hypered Machuk there.
Yeah. That was a very good opportunity to Hyper Mashuk. But in the meantime, like, okay, the hard part for the Homelander here is that most of his best win conditions are now very hobbled by this tenderness. So he kind of has to like lead with Kinu now, which is very frightening.
Yeah, but I think Machuk just would die probably from the Hyper +3.
I agree.
So you don't get Tenderness and you kill Valorant. It's like
I agree
he's
with
playing
you.
aggro, yeah.
Time, it's the plays that we have in front of us.
Sure.
So like, yeah, no, I definitely agree that the HKS onto Mashuk that turn, nothing would have eaten it well. But in the meantime, we're in an environment where after all of this work to ensure that the Koish was able to sweep later on without having a tenderness on it from the lead, we see it now have a tenderness on it, which is unfortunate for Homelander. Absolutely here.
Yep. Let's see how this will punish him. I mean, Kaimi is not in that good of a spot either. Valorant is super low. Grimper already dead. Cernif and Machuk are not like Tams dealing huge damage against Homelander comp.
It's kind of all in on the mix at this point.
Yeah, with Cernif on the side and tank.
Very unfortunately, it's also not a sweatband mix.
True, that is not helping, but sweatband mix is like so hard.
God.
Ooh, that synergy.
I hadn't considered the crystal synergy for the toxic plumes being yet another way to really take advantage of this, though. Although this could work out terribly for Kami here, as the Quetzalino comes down on mix. But
wow.
Ice Cube tech!
Ice Cube and Tenderness. And the toxic plume. And thank you for the follow, Deja Vu.
Okay. I was so sure that mix was dead. Ice Cube saving the mix there was wild.
I mean, plus the toxic plume coming just before as well, like really.
Yeah, no, that was well calculated there. I don't know if this is enough for Kami at this point. He's lost a lot of his back line. Like...
Yeah, even if like Homelander will have trouble to kill. I mean, he still has actually Vola with the +2, so we'll get a Hyper up. But yeah, that was insane. And like, we don't really see Ice Cube mix that often, so...
No. Well, you don't see Ice Cube much in general, right? It's such a specific counter. People tend to want to go for the double screen or something like that. Or alternately, usually you see Rock Shield mix a lot. But no, Ice Cube definitely paid off in this instance.
Yeah. That's funny to see. We all thought Mix would die there. Nope.
Oh, beautiful.
Good sacrifice.
Yeah, the sacrifice onto the Cernif helps a lot for Homelander here.
And let's see if he gets a proc. Yes, sir.
All right. Yep. No, there's the Callosity. So it is a Callosity, meaning that that Mashuk getting a tenderness would really hurt.
Like, he took only 27% damage from a double up. Sacrifice really good.
This tells me that this Cernif isn't going to be hitting the hardest, though. I somehow doubt it's going to have the offensive investment alongside all of this bulk.
True.
Unless it's like one of those really wild spreads where it's like very little HP into that, but I feel like that would still have been reflected in the overall damage we saw from this.
Yeah, and I dobbed it because, like, with all the heals you have, you really want to have that HP.
Absolutely. With this in mind, though, it's not the Cernif that I'm worried about on the Homelander side. It's, well, the left slot.
Yeah.
Like, if at this point Kami just hits everything not named Cernif.
It's dying.
Yeah. And, like, the one saving grace for the Homelander here is that Toxic Plume is up, and I'm pretty sure a +2 speed Vola is outspeeding that. So Mix cannot stay in here. So this does mean that we get the Mashuk in.
I feel he needs to hyper. There's no way he... Toxic Plume.
Yeah, no, he clicked the Toxic Plumes. He wanted to go for that kill.
But he doesn't kill with it, and he doesn't survive that turn. Revitalize would not be quicker than C-Spike. Wow. But no, of course, it's good, but...
I can't say I expected the Frond Whip. Was that in... Oh, okay. I think I know what that was anticipating. I feel like that was just in case either Skunch or Koish came in. But, like...
I think he had nothing else to do, because he was full life. So it's the less stamina consumption attack move, and a hold that you will just release. Like, I just feel it's the only move you can really do there.
Right, that's right. Callosity. Well, most Cernifs these days don't run Shy Shields. You don't have a I don't want to click a stamina move this turn move.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Callosity doesn't run.
Obviously doesn't.
If it's settling, sure.
These days either. They tend to run Frond Whip instead.
That's because of Naga, I suppose, but I still really like Shy Shield with settling.
Oh, I agree. I think it's very important. And we finally see the HKS go down on the Mashuk, and it doesn't take it down. The coat keeps it alive at 4.9%.
Is that a kill? If that's not a kill, that's so huge for Homelander.
We'll have to see here.
Ooh, 1 HP.
The Frond Whip seals the deal for the Mashuk. This is looking like Homelander takes it away.
I mean, he still can't kill the Mix at the moment. He needs to go through Cernif for that. I mean, of course he can get a Toxic Plume, but...
Yeah, he's got the Toxic Plume and he outspeeds.
Oh yeah. I'm dumb. Mix is now so low too. Yeah. It's not 39% anymore.
And it's game. Like, Cernif versus also a Cernif, and then two things on the other side is going to swiftly escalate.
Yeah, there's just no way. Exotic
I have to admit,
will
this
take.
game's kept me on my toes.
Yeah, I really thought Kami had it at the start.
But Homelander showed us how repositioning and making wild plays can really throw your opponent off guard.
200 IQ.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the follow-up, Psycho Mob. Welcome.
Yep, and with that, this is looking very foregone here. Well played to Kami, and always glad to see players get showcased here. He will, however, be eliminated. They will, of course, still be able to advise their teammates from behind the scenes, but this is the last we'll be seeing of Kami in this club war.
Yes, sir. GG to both participants. But 1-0 at the moment for EXO. We'll wait 1 or 2 minutes that they talk about the next opponent.
Yeah, there were a lot of reads there that I didn't expect, but this is one of the other things that I like about players like this getting showcased is that they're not going to make the moves that we immediately read, right?
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple of turns there that I just could not have read it because, yeah, different play.
Sometimes it's not even green circles. Sometimes it is just a bunch of people behind the scenes making observations about the opposing team that are entirely different from our own. And thanks for popping in, Noah Field. Great to
Bat
have you
farm,
around.
yes, sir.
One. All right.
That farm doesn't like notifications.
Oh no.
Anyway,
Well.
good to go tuning in later again. Thank you for coming, Noafiel. Have a good one.
With that, we still do have the Homelander to play later on as well. It's entirely possible that Exotic French can keep the Homelander in at this point to like scout for additional players. Obviously, at this point, the other thing that's advantageous there is they're not giving anything more away about the rest of their lineup. This is another reason why it can be wise to keep a player in unless they're sort of like, a win condition team. It's one of the things that I really enjoy about this.
Me too. I think Club Wars is just a fantastic format. And yeah, I think you're right. I mean, once you have someone that doesn't has like a specific, there are specific teams like, well, myself or Plat, where you have like a real way to heavy counter them. But when it's like a generic aggro that is like covering a lot of things, you don't mind, he can stay, and just like you say, spy the next teams.
Yeah, exactly. Since you're not exactly it's not as though it's any groundbreaking sort of team composition. It's heavy aggression, and it's like a number of separate things that throw into itself. It's relatively self-explanatory as a team concept. You're not giving much away by keeping it on the board.
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, yeah, you can find out what else people are bringing.
True, and I have both names. So for Exotic French, Homelander is just gonna stay, like you said. And for Temteros, it will be Marquitos Villar.
All right, I'm interested in seeing what they're bringing here.
Yep. So Homelander.
Neko doing the callback to Alola there.
Ah ouais, aussitôt que ça? Ah ouais. Ah.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, no, you just gotta get to sleep fast, right?
C'est l'heure des poules, là. Hello, Dan Man. Hello, GTF Legacy. Nice to see you guys. We're just waiting. They go in the match. Ah oui, c'est vrai que j'ai pas écrit le nom. Désolé, Neko. Pourquoi ça l'a pas pris?
Yeah, this is the caster's curse that you're seeing right here, folks. It's that awkward moment where we just have to keep checking to see if they've entered their match. Because the spectate button doesn't update unless we refresh.
It's my bad. I didn't write the name to Nick.
All right, so once again, this is the Homelander versus Marquitos Villar. And okay, I like Marquitos' team. This is just hard smork as well. Like, this is about as aggro as it's possible to be. It's less diverse. That's one other thing I'll say about it. Like, you don't have a Cernif on this team, so you don't have the nature aggression, but it's doubling down on the Quetzaleno. It's got Size Munch's Wreck inside it, so it's that kind of a team instead. And you actually have two Size Munch synergies in here as well, so it's very much that sort of mid-range Quetza Wreck combo team. And also a Barnshee, I guess.
Definitely gonna be a high pace game. I have no Kinu at all. No buffers.
This just charges at you and doesn't stop.
True. It's inconsistent enough to win consistently. Magia. What?
Okay, the thing that I didn't expect, though, with a team with two Quetzaleno users on it, is the Cernif ban. This suggests that they want to, like, mainline Size Munch? Oh, actually, no. It's because it's Calosity, and this is mainly a physical team. That makes more sense. I was like, huh?
I still actually wonder, because, like you said, you can do not Scunch, that's the problem. But you can do, like, if it's not Scunch, it's harsh.
No, I think if you go Velosh, that would totally have worked. Like, Valash, Raikan
Valash,
here.
yeah, or Valash Fireco should definitely kill this.
Yeah, exactly. No, it looks like Marquitos wants that Scunch, which And in that instance, yeah, sure. You kind of need to make sure that the Cernif isn't there to take advantage of your P-jabs. But what's stopping the Homelander from just leading? Oh, no. We still have the Lash that's available to be picked here because it's blue side. I was like, hold on, Barnshee exists. But then I'm like, right. Yeah, no, orange side. Orange side sucks for trying to counterpick that into this.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Ursula Q made me laugh there.
Sorry, I only just looked at chat. Soliloquy's coming out there with the guns.
Funny enough.
Oh, they actually do pick the Barnshee though. Looks like they're just okay. So this could be juxtaposed with like a Firequash or a Volphy to try to scare away the Valish, perhaps.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly what it
That's
is.
exactly the combo. You can one-shot the Sconge. He doesn't really care about Getza as well.
This could be a massive debate in that case, because in that case, if the Valorant isn't banned here, we could just be seeing a water cannon and a swap into Valorant.
Yeah, but at the same time, if like the Barge is a frail Barge, it's already frail, but like speedy, so not much HP, it just dies before even getting a better burst.
This is the other reason why I'm saying you swap into Vola there. It's
I mean, Vola will be like at 10% HP. And Water Cannon will do what? Mostly half of Raikan? And then you let the Sconge free?
Sorry, this is my own weird Koish spreads scuffing my analysis once again. I run a mixed Koish that's teched to more effectively take down fires.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course.
With like poison
attack.
can take down aggro Raikans, that kind of a thing. But like it's awkward. Still though, with the counterbans, okay, so we see a bunch of natures. I'm surprised that the natures are what's getting banned here, but the Kinu is always a good ban off from Arquitos here. We see the Valish and the Firequash, of course, on Homelander's side, making sure those are not on the field from Arquitos here. We got the Sconge, 2 Volas, and a Barnshee coming out.
I honestly wonder why the Valish ban when you have Firecourse, Sconge, and Vulfi.
This is something I see people do on occasion where they're like so scared of a Tem that they have the picks for it, but then they ban it anyway.
Yeah, it's there must be some trauma there against Valish, I think, because like, I mean, I understand. I hate the team. I hate the Tem as well, but not with such a...
Look, we've all been in that situation where you want to hit Valish, but then you also want to hit the other spot, and then either spot kills you. And it's a terrible position to be in. I do feel like this team is one that would probably still be comfortable into that. But my suspicion is that neither of these teams are going to be as aggressive as we're immediately expecting it to be, right? From what we saw of Homelander previously, they played it much slower and safer than I think either of us expected. I'm expecting something similar this match instead, though, as we get into our game 2.
Yeah, but this time we have like really aggressive starts control again. Barge, if he knows he can take that, can just take and have a free tornado next turn as well. Firecourse, he has absolutely no switch for a Getza.
You're right.
I feel whatever he doubles, he kills there at the Sconge spot.
What I feel we could see here actually is a swap into Volphy on the Firequash side into a Synergy Emanip. Because that would quickly take out the Sconge before it moves. And that looks like exactly what Homelander's doing.
Let's see if that's enough. But yeah, that's the problem. That is the problem with a couple of Sconge. They can't be resisting it now.
Oh, yup. If you don't run max speed, max attack, you can live a lot of things. As the double in onto the Barnshee takes it out before it's able to cement anything more and gives the prideful buff to Mufasa to boot.
Well, I think he's gonna be able to go sleep.
I mean, at this point, you're still high-key threatened by a lot of what's on the board here, but I think you just smork into it anyways. The question here then becomes, does this Volphy outspeed the Sconge? Does the Sconge stay in at all?
I think, of course, I mean, in my opinion, Volphy outspeeds the Sconge, so... but yeah, gets up as one, you don't really like it. Do you want to does Vortex that spot? Does he read it? I feel you need to kill the Sconge. Especially with Wolfie, otherwise you get one shot. And hello, Capsule,
Good
nice to
turn
see
here.
you.
Like, you can't afford to actually do damage to Mufasa this turn with Wolfie. You have to take out the Scunch to take away the synergy.
Yep, so you always flag that spot.
Vola is the obvious swap in for that, and then Mufasa can still probably do a ton of damage anyways. But you don't really want to be taking the water cannon.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what he should do, just in case he stays and not give him like a free Ketsa.
Now, I know a lot of people are running Chamomile mirroring Gallus. If this is a Camo mirroring Gallus, that's an excellent swap in to something on this board.
I mean, Ricky he still doesn't has Jutsu, so there's no, I mean, except like base speed. Wolfie, he can't be slower than Scunch.
All right. This is the kind of matches I look for. Just all charge, no swaps.
Attack, Smork.
I'm gonna go for it as we do see the Volphy go down to 18% there. I don't know if this was fully worth it when like you got the buffs onto Mufasa early. Like, sure, you carved a bloody swath into that Volphy, but like, I mean, I guess it does to Gallus now, but does the Gallus really want to come in here when Scunch could just come back in?
I mean, Firecourse is on the field anyway, so not really, but yeah.
Scunch means that suddenly you get Synergy Master Ketsit in the face.
And boom! True. And hello, Tira. I was just wondering if one tapped to... Oh, if Raiken one tapped. Okay. I didn't read it like that. Did you see my DM, by the way, Ricky?
Yeah, so... No, if that had died to the Quetzaleno there, then yeah, the Homelander would have been in a terrible... Well, in a worse spot.
Yeah, because he's not in that great of a spot. I mean, actually, with those synergy, you can plague, but not doing much there. And Vorant is...
This is an Arrow Vola. You can afford to... No, never mind. Homelander doesn't have a Barnshi anymore. Sorry, I'm living in an alternate universe where they still have their Barnshi. Yeah, no, this is looking kind like this turn and potentially the one afterward are good, but like it really depends on precisely what Marquitos does. I feel like at this point, if we see a Gallus swap in on the Raikan spot and a Toxic Plume, that's kind of frustrating for the Homelander. It's not the best spot for that though, because the Volphy's on the board for the Team Elusive, but like I feel like you want to get the minus attack on Wee Huey there, otherwise it's still gonna just chonk anything that comes in.
The thing is, like, imagine he's like a greedy dust for
Oh no!
And he Toxic Plum switch to Gallus. Welcome to the other side.
Oh yeah, no, that's really bad. Hey, maybe you get mirroring value. KO the Volphy for free.
Let's see, Raiken is 100% switch, but yeah.
The problem is what wants to come in. Like, Barnshi's frail, it doesn't want to eat what's coming at it, but it is more specially defensive, so if you're expecting a double into the Raikan spot, or alternately just the Volphy, and then like you're swapping Koish for whatever reason, I don't think you want to swap Koish here, but we've seen Homelander try to keep the Koish safe before.
Yeah, and he wants to hold Barn for Scunch.
And no swaps, only hits. As the Plague comes down, we actually see a Feather Gatling into the Koish. And another Ketsa just trying to take out that Volphy before anything else happens. Does that count as value when you've killed yourself to make sure that the water cannon hits the Voller end?
Does that, for what does it? Oh, the Prideful?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying like the value here being that the water cannon wasn't very effective here at all. Like, you know, it's something on the board.
I mean, I don't think it was really like a fair trade for him, because Bunch can still definitely, and Gallus too, tank a water cannon. Like, I would have always switched it to Raiken there, because you can just kill the Wolfie with your Vorant as well.
That's a reasonable answer to that. Like, It just felt like a waste of the Raiken after having set it up.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we now have Skunch Koish back again.
My pleasure. I tried, Ricky.
Rip, it be like that.
Yeah, harsh 12 hours. So it's definitely quite even still at the moment, even if Valorant has one buff. Bunch, like, perfect jab Ketsa just gonna kill. Oh, energy manipulation actually, probably. If he has it, yeah, that kills for sure. My bad.
Surprise is that more barn, like none of the Barnshees that I've seen so far, like Setsuka ran this and I've started to warm to it, is running Strange Vest Barnshee to try to deal with some of the physical aggression that we see these days.
Yeah, I had that in last tourney. It was really cool.
No, it winds up working very well.
Because I use it just specifically to counter those starters, so.
Yeah, otherwise they walk right over you. If I recall correctly, like Setsuka ran that so that he could run Barnshee and a bunch of other Sparks Tems and not just immediately get rolled over by the physical leads.
That is true. But there are other things in that way that you actually really don't like a Crystal Spike just kills you, a Tesla Prison kills you.
Those usually kill Barnshee anyways, would be my response to that.
True. Like you can't use it as a wind tank, you still take too much from it.
That's actually fair. Still though, I feel like we may have spoken a bit soon in terms of Homelander like taking things faster here, as things are very quickly escalating. Like, I mean, the Barnshee still goes down to the Feather Gatling, but with the Gallus in the back at full health up into this Valorant with the other Valorant on the field, this is looking like Marquitos has this.
Definitely. I don't see a way. I mean, you just overexert there anyways. You double in the Vola and just kill it. +4 hyper, not gonna like it.
Oh yeah, no, that HKS at +4 is going to be very painful indeed.
And he's already -1, so... Oh, well, never mind.
You know, sometimes you just gotta style on your opponent for a turn, you know?
Why not Noxious Bomb then?
There's shades of movement here. Still though, with that in mind... Gag Bomb tells us that he hypered last turn.
Thank you, Gag Bomb. I didn't see. And hello, nice to see you, mate. And sure, Ricky.
Thanks for catching
Good luck
that
for
for
your
us.
hours. Yo, we were chatting. Sorry.
That's rude of us to be chatting in the middle of this. Well, I'll try to keep more of an eye on things in the meantime, though. As the Feather Gatling will be going down onto Gallus, but at this point, you're losing too much on the Valorant at this point. It cannot deal with that. Pretty much anything from this Gallus seals the deal. As the Homelander at least scouted a lot of this team and the general sort of makeup of it.
And it will be GG for Marquitos. Temteros taking it back to 1-1. I heard Dribblast won a 1v1 after the exotic Temteros Club Wars.
Definitely. Yeah, I know, right? You're stuck with scrubs like us, dribblers.
Love it.
It's just the way it be.
Prediction. GG for the batters.
Congratulations to them. Man, so at this point it is officially 1-1. That this tends to be how some of these go, in fairness. Like, it's not often that I see like a full-on steamroll one side or the other. Like, I'd say more often than not, like 60% of the time it winds up being like a back and forth for a while. Like, if one side winds up winning twice, then that's a huge amount of momentum in a game in like best of 9 like this.
Yeah, sorry, because I was writing at the same time with the other clubs to like have the names.
Oh, no worries. I know you're doing a lot behind the scenes. With that in mind, though, Yeah, I feel like Homelander still wound up doing some valuable stuff there. As people said in chat, he'd managed to scout the double screen, which was very valuable indeed.
For sure, having a lot of infos. I already have actually Exotics Club. Next participants. Oh, okay, and I have Temteros too now.
Hey,
So it will be Marquitos Villar again for Temteros against Tafel for Exotic French.
God, I haven't seen Toffel play in ages.
Me neither, to be honest. Let me just write
Toffel,
it
for
to
those who don't
Nicholas.
know, is somebody who's been with us for a very long time and has made a couple really valuable guides that are obviously available for your own perusal and viewing in the Temtem official Discord in the competitive section, I believe. Generally a good egg. Yeah, no, I've seen them chatting in comp chat like ages. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they pick. In the meantime, though, Marquitos, we know what Marquitos is bringing. It's all punch.
Definitely. And let's see if Tafel is still in the exotic spirit or a bit different. Will we see Anna here tonight? That's my question.
Well, we like let's not downplay the fact that like as much as we meme about exotic having like, you know, all aggro, all fire, things like that, there's been some variety, some nuance in there. If nothing else, like even discounting more avant-garde picks like Bennett with this Bennett and yourself with much slower compositions. Classics as well. I always like signposting as a player that
True, yeah.
gets the grain with that. Sure, it's Anna here, but in general, it's a lot more mid-range and
Yeah,
slow.
yeah, you're right. Classics is definitely more in the mid-range. And now here.
Well, with that,
Oh,
we are into our
and
next match.
so let me open the bets at the same time.
Marvelous.
Oh, well. Love you, Jackson. Thank you.
Jackson once again doing good work behind the scenes. Okay, so Toffel is bringing. Yeah, this isn't quite the standard lineup. I like the move flank.
Yeah, I think Mooflank is like such a good I mean, I don't think it is, just it's so amazingly strong.
It fits into a lot of lineups and it's relatively self-contained. That's the thing that I like the most about move flank. You can run it with Hurrywart and do a lot of very good openers. You can run it with Unnoticed, and then it just becomes terrifying late game.
Yeah, it's like the Tem has a taunt in his trait at the same time. It's like,
Absolutely.
attack me or you're gonna regret it.
If you don't notice the goat, it's gonna be a problem. So immediate scunch ban, taking into account the fact that Toffel only has the Kinu as a mental on. Okay, sorry, I forgot about the mix for a second. I just genuinely ignored the mix. So he's got the two mentals there, but still, I can respect just banning the scunch if you're expecting one of those to get banned.
You know why?
Getting pushed out.
Because if you look at Mix and Kinu, there is Gallus, Valash, Seismensch, Raiken, and Firecush. You don't want to pick it.
Suggesting that Toffel might not want to play those two mentals.
I think he doesn't want to play Mix. Except if it's like a Tsubaki rigged mix that survives every physical attack.
Yeah, except at that point, is it KOing Scunch?
I mean, Wisp Psy Search still, but
Fair. Okay, speaking reasonably, I think that Kinu Yowler is still strong into this. If this is Chamomile Yowler, it has to be picked first, right?
yeah, it has to be picked first, otherwise you don't get the proc. But at the same time, he plays Grumper too, so you never know. I see still a lot of people playing it with no camo.
Well, usually I expect it to be Energy Drink in that case. I have only ever seen two people go full greed and go like Resistance Badge Yowler. One of those people, of course, is God of Despair. Who, wherever you are a champion, and definitely one of the most balls in players I've seen running that. In the meantime, though, I also like Mashok into this. I still think Mashok is just strong, partially because it baits in the Barnshy, which is very easily counterable by a lot of other things on Toffel's team.
I mean, yeah, then he needs to pick Grumper. I definitely still think you don't want to pick Mix, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think you pick Mix. Okay, so the Barnshy is lured in anyways.
But yeah, you definitely want to pick Grumper here, so if he wants to bet up Burst you just kill him. And at the same time, he only has the crystals as a good switch for Thunderstrike, and he's probably actually banning a crystal or the wind. I don't know which one. Or his Metruk, because Metruk is just really good against 2 crystals.
I mean, we still have Size Munch here, which isn't a bad swap in for that as well. Or are you assuming that Size Munch eats the ban?
I'm assuming he's picked now.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see. Yeah, no, that's fair.
just for the Grumper as well. Even if I think Valash would just be better because you get a free madness buff and you can still switch later, but
To be fair, it also attract. Actually, another thing that would be nice about the Valish pick there is the fact that it forces you to choose what you actually want to target that turn with your boy Grumper, because either you're letting Barnshee T-pose on you turn 1, as many things that kill Barnshee have to do, or you're just going straight for the throat and letting Size Munch do one of its many annoying things that it can do. It very much depends on this Size Munch, though. We didn't see it last game, so I'm looking forward to seeing what it is. In the meantime, though, this is a conventional Kinu Yowler lead instead. We don't see the Grumper here.
so
It
he
could-
just, yeah. Oh.
I'm expecting it to get banned. No, it's the Mashok instead. Toffel still has the ability to bring it against this team, as we see the Valish get banned as well.
With the
This
Kinu, yeah, he decided to counter Seismint instead of countering Barnge. I'm not sure about that. I mean, of course you get the buff on Yolar, but like leaving Barnge free to beta burst, and you have to stay there with Kinu to beta burst Seismint as well.
I'm kind of expecting this to not be a camo Yowler then. Especially since we also have the Grumper on the team, this looks like it'll be an E-Drink. This is there for the quick buff. Swap the Yowler out. Bring in, I don't know, something to eat the Barnshee's attacks. I don't really know what's going to... probably the mix. It feels bad because Size Munch exists, but it's not terrible into that board. I suppose Grumper eats the mental as well, but like...
Yeah, I mean, not just neutral, so yeah. And thank you
I'm
for
not sure I like that.
thank you for the follow, C Martino D. Especially with double. I mean, he walls the fire as well, so that's...
Okay, we don't see the mix, so we don't have that as a swap in here. In the meantime, we see the Fire Koish get picked up on Marquitos' side. Honestly, I like the opener from Marquitos more here. Like, while obviously Toffel's gotten some very good value off of this, I feel like Marquitos has a lot of wiggle room in how they can pursue this lead.
I think I still prefer the Yolar Keaton start because it's not Chamomile. If it was Chamomile, I would agree with you. Because it's not Chamomile, you can still counterplay if needed. You don't need to take that down. Yolar will just carry the late.
Oh yeah, no, if this is just a buff and bounce, which it is, and the Valorant comes out, assumedly almost as a sacrifice more than anything.
Yeah.
So we do get a heat up in exchange for 50% of Size Munch's health.
Definitely good. Oh, that's not that much.
I'm just hoping that Size Munch here gets value, because if Marquitos' game plan is to wreck this turn and he doesn't adapt, which I see some players do on occasion, that would be a terrible decision here.
Yeah,
This is one of those boards that you never wreck into.
Because I feel this is so free for Tafel to just double in the Size Munch. Whatever comes there will take damage.
Absolutely. Now, if we're looking at what is capable of swapping in on Marquitos' side, actually, Other Valorant is a very good candidate here.
Sure, I mean, depending if it's Brooch or not, because in that case, still take a lot of damage.
I just don't like bringing the Gallus in on the hard swap on a targeted spot.
But I feel it's still okay, because you unlock the hold, probably for a Feather Gatling Beta Burst. I mean, of course you take some damage, but you unlocked your move, can probably do a... I don't know.
That's true, and Gallus is chunkier than I give it credit for, especially if you invest a reasonable amount into it.
In HP, yeah. His base stats are fantastic. I don't know. At the same time, Valorant, when you look at it, there's still Grumper, so...
So we do see the Valorant get swapped in instead.
Let's see if it's Brute or not. Oh, Turbo, that's really good.
Okay.
We don't see a lot of Barnge with Turbos lately, so...
Generally, people only seem to click attacking moves with Barnshee. It can be easy to forget that it has a wide array of supporting options. And
True.
this is a neutrality Barnshee too. I always love seeing these because they tend to wind up dominating the match more. Like Air Specialist Barnshee, you target it and it goes down.
Yeah, it's
It'll
like just a hyper aggro version.
Mhm.
Otherwise, neutrality is always better. I feel like, yeah.
Absolutely. If you're going anything that isn't just like glass cannon kill you in the face, then neutrality is just massive value, as we're seeing right here.
Yeah, otherwise it's like Hypoxia, Tornado, you're dead. But you made a kill. It's like,
Pretty much. Which, hey, sometimes that's what you need on a team, especially if you're also relying on it to kill Skunch, then, you can attempt to make sure that works.
true. So
Still, though, I do like the neutrality Barnshee here. I think that it's doing a good job zoning. Like, especially since we've got the +2 speed here, it's keeping away the Yowler, which is obviously very important. Grumper's kind of a free swap in here, and I wouldn't like to see a Stonewall into that as well, because then it could just kind of sit there for a bit.
I feel it's the perfect time to switch Barnes for Gallus here to unlock your free move.
Plume has just gone off, so we're not in any risk of chip damage from that. If this is... Actually, no. Gallus never gets hit by that anyways. I was thinking about the mirroring, and then it's like, no, then you just run camo.
So I think it's just a good time. When you don't have much stamina, I can do probably one more move, but that's all. We see special defense, so I don't think it's brute. You can get the Noxious Bomb here as well, so Gallus is perfect switch for it. Yeah, I think it's just a perfect timing for it.
This is true. Also, Barnshee's low on stamina, and if Marquitos is scared of the Hypno on Toffel's side, then it's unlikely, unless Toffel's hard reading, that they're going to target a Hypno into the Barnshee slot. Man, Ricky-chan just going hardcore on the hideous nature of Grumper in his own hideous way. I respect it.
On the flying shit bulb.
Indeed.
Oh, you're talking about my lovely Superman Taku. Really good switch there for the Grumper.
Yeah, no, as Purdy said, the preemptive swap in is precisely what works out here. And yeah, no, keeping the Gallus in the back, once again, Marquitos doing the same thing they did last game and just keeping that as a late game threat, while in the meantime bringing out the size bunch that they set up instead.
Yeah,
now, I'm a little worried about how... I just realized... Sorry, I've been a dunce this entire time. Because this Valorant is an anaerobic one, we don't have to worry about the sudden spot removal onto Size Munch's spot. Meaning it's pretty much free to attack this field as necessary. The Feather Get into Valorant, I don't believe, kills from this period. And this means that the Valorant's free to, like, Nox Bomb into that alongside whatever Size Munch does, ensuring that if Kinu gets a cheeky swap in, that the Kinu still takes damage.
Yeah, because I don't think there's a world where the Grumper survive, except like if it's a hardcore Grumper, but so you definitely can do that. Sizemunch can't get killed from Valorant because it's unaero, so no way.
Yeah.
So you could even switch your own Valorant into Gallus to just get the synergy wreck and a hold.
Okay, so we do see the Kinu swap, which makes sense because you do want to generally try to get buffs onto Valorant when it's anaerobic like this. The HKS smacks.
Is wreck enough? No, I don't think so. Maybe.
No.
Oh, no, it was Kino for sure. No, I'm not.
And once again, we're back into that board that is terrible to wreck into, and the Kinu packing snare there. If nothing else, that's a very valuable scout on Marquitos' side.
Yeah, at the same time, Kino doesn't feel really great there, because he can just even Toxic Plume and Dim Mac. If it's quicker than Kino, but should be, so... Yeah,
I feel like that was entirely to set up a terrible turn for that wreck, rather than any long-term planning there, outside of ensuring that the Valorant was able to live another turn.
Oh, for sure. I agree with that.
And we got some maudlin singers in chat. Good times. Okay, so if I'm looking at this, so obviously Toffel's keeping the Yalarin for the back. We're not expecting any swap-ins on that. Unless this is like a clutch sacrifice into Yowler from here, but I don't expect that because, as you're saying, Dimmock is a threat.
Yeah, sorry, Brody, my habit. A bad habit.
Just press X, super fast.
I mean, yeah, I'm actually just pressing X, looking, seeing, and repressing, but I should just stay in there.
No, you should just keep it open. It's fine. Oh, man.
It's most needed against player like you, Brody. Okay, so they stayed all. Let's see. I mean, uppercut should even be enough, but then you're not sure to be quicker, so...
Okay, so we do see the HKS come down onto the size munch. I'm not expecting this to kill.
No speed min special. Imagine if he had Plume for real there. Double kill.
Yeah. Okay, the plume would have been really good there. I feel like that still wouldn't have killed from the percentage that the size munch was at.
I mean the Yolorant with size munch Plume there. That's why I say like Plume, a Dimmac, or Plume uppercut if you're confident in your speed.
Got you. No. Okay, yeah. Marquitos, if Marquitos is one had plumed, yeah, that would have been pretty devastating. I agree with that.
At the same time, now Valorant is overexerted, so it's okay. Your Valorant should just go away. +5 speed of Valorant.
I'm a little perplexed by this swap here. I didn't expect the Yeller in this turn. If anything, I would have expected the Fire Koish to come in on that death. So that way you could swap in the Yeller and Smork.
Oof, yeah. And that's pretty wreck. Let's see how much it does to Yolar.
I'm very interested in seeing that. And it does 35. A pretty significant amount, given that this has already gotten its protector buff off. Like 35%. That's something to write home about.
Sure. Cleaner's gonna finish the job. Gallus is on the field. He can just bring Bunch back, but I suppose he's gonna read that and just bring Grumper back at that point. He has nothing actually really good against Grumper now in the back.
He's got Fire
Cannon, but it just gets one shot by Thunderstrike. So
also Hook Kick is a move.
Sure thing, but then you ignore the Yolar.
Yeah, I think you have to ignore the Yeller at least once here, which obviously is awkward, but you still have the Barnchy in the back. It's +2 speed. It's going to be getting betas off.
Or is he just going to bring Raiken actually because he has the synergy to kill Gallus? Could definitely be a good choice.
I like that better than the Grumper here.
Yeah. I just look at the bench, not at the Gallus on the field, so definitely better. Yeah, Brody.
I mean, I do stand by, like, that's still significant damage, knowing what we know about Yeller. Like, getting a +1 onto this thing just makes it such a nuisance to actually try to take down. And yeah, from a synergy rec, +2, getting 35% on it from a single attack, that's not super effective. I'd say that's worth writing home about. It's incredibly troublesome trying to deal damage to that bear.
That bear is like, yeah, a little bit too much. And yeah, Gag Bomb, that's totally my fault. I was looking at the bench and not what was already on the field.
So we see the Gallus swap out for Marquitos' own Fire Koish as the HKS is going to be coming down onto that Fire Koish, and boom, it just takes it out.
He didn't even have to switch. Just did it by precaution.
I mean, I still think that's reasonable just in case, but like, I feel like that was more a precaution just for as you say.
In case he didn't one-shot.
It's an important play to make, and I feel like it's good to stay safe like that, because if nothing else, the Fire Koish has done most of its job here. If it gets a water cannon off, then cool, that's the other thing it needed to do. And importantly, the Valorend, it's now in alongside the Valorend, so that it can get the synergy off as well.
Yeah, definitely getting that water cannon out there. Electric Storm. Double kill.
That's gonna wipe the board clean.
What did he do with Yolar? Show off?
I should hope show off.
Yeah, I hope it didn't attack.
Yeah, that would, okay, arrest.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there we go. It's show off, obviously.
That Warren making stuff disappear. I mean, yeah, when you let the aerobic Warren +5.
Oh yeah, if you let it pop off like that, that can be very intimidating.
So, Hookig is always gonna go for it and just kill the Grumper for sure. Beta Burst landing on your. Yeah.
Don't know the item on Barnshe,
We still don't know it.
nor do we know the item on Yeller, but I'm assuming Yeller's is energy drink.
Probably.
I always try to assume that until proven otherwise.
I mean, we saw the clinch and I didn't saw resistant badge. Suplex the Barnes and hope it kills. Yeah, it's your only way, but like.
That's a yikes. As yeah, now the beta burst is coming down. That's still an underwhelming amount of damage there, but you gotta do what you can in order to get that.
That's it. Oh no.
And the suplex actually still like okay, the neutrality comes in clutch there once again, ensuring no exhaust, meaning that we still have more opportunities for Marquitos to get a double attack off rather than a single. Although I don't think the Yowler lives this turn. Like, it's always hard to say when they take this little damage from things. So the Bitter Burst comes down again, and yeah, no, at this point the Gallus can just finish it off.
Yeah, it's just GG, guys. Wait, your Lord didn't kill the mental?
Marquitos taking it home again. So that is 2-1 for Temteros.
Definitely good job. Thank you for the prediction. Hashtag buff y'all. Sure, give him heat up.
So at this point, other gear slots that are important that Exotic French scouted from that is they know it's an iron coating, very aggro size munch, which means that in the future games they can play around that.
Yep. Leak it.
Rip. Oh, I see. That's to ensure that Savage Suplex is still a reasonable choice when Electro Punch exists, right?
Sipaku said Suplex BP raised to 170. Wait, what? My champ points will never recover from that loss.
Oh man, Denman, I feel that. Sometimes I go all in on bets that I should not have gone all in on. Voldemort talking about giving Yowler show wall +1 attack and defense buffs.
Oh, give that to every green Tem too.
Oh, good God. Concerned with that. No, thank you.
Certainly was that true. Oh my God. I can try a boomerang Saku as well.
I mean, honestly, the more I think about it, even such wonderful things as like Toxin Shower Nidrasil feels a bit overpowered the more that I consider it. Like, imagine that on a conventional stall team.
Yeah, true. That would just be like really good. Way too good. Is Lumanaga green too? Does only Lumanaga get show wall? Wait,
Yeah, I'd count Mountain Dew Chick into that.
Yolar gets max heat up, the first move to buff SV over 50. The memes are starting.
I'm glad to see them. I mean, in fairness, it's hard not to meme about Yeller when it's capable of pulling off the sort of things that it does. It definitely requires consistent effort to take down, but it's not proven itself to be insurmountable, as we saw that match.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair there, his switch at turn 1 didn't get a show off nothing. Like, yeah. If he had a show off earlier on, the thing would have been different. But yeah, just leading Barnes and deciding not to Grumper and just don't care. I mean, just pressuring the size munch was harsh.
Absolutely. I think another thing that's important to take in mind with that is the fact that if you're spreading as bulkily as Toffel had with that, then you need the show offs to do damage. I know there's some other spreads out there that are a bit more frail, but they don't need the show off. They just come in swinging.
Whoa. So I was talking with the two clubs and we have both names again. So it will be Marquitos Villar again against Gaddy.
Gaddy, there's an oh, speaking of Yalar, that's like the Yalar queen, isn't it?
I mean, definitely, I never saw him with Salsa Yolar, but not sure about Queen.
I don't know. I picked a gender and threw it at the wall.
If Yolar didn't have show off, it will only be half as bad. One tenderness and be out of the game. Yeah, definitely.
I would actually completely agree with that. I think that show off is a very important move on any Yowler set. The fact that it sees play even on chamomile sets identifies how serious a threat that is. So, into our fourth game, Marquitos just throwing things at the wall here.
Yes, sir. Let's see if he's gonna take a third win or not. As a reminder, guys, 2-1 for Temteros at the moment.
Absolutely. Hey, this team looks a little familiar. I mean, there's a Yowler on this one.
True. It's like, what changed?
There's no there's no Kinu.
Oh, what? True. But still the best stat at time in the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. It's based at total dwarfs, even Lawali and Tataru previous high ranking stat boys.
Is that your new club, Tsuba? What do you mean, Ando? Oh, sure, a base stat spawn.
Oh.
Yolar versus Kino. Yeah, that is like pretty rare.
I mean, you see it on occasion, especially in matchup. Well, especially in some teams like these, where it's more there for a fat Ketsa, other big physical threat in the background. Like I see Valish, Yowler, and Raikan and Firekoish put together on a team pretty constantly.
I mean, it's just a core that always works. Like, just strong, just too strong.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Pink Giraffe coming into the comment section with some absolute sauce hallucination into Late Torment Yowler. Late Torment is one of those situational moves. So we see the Firekoish ban, we see the Barnshee ban, and we are immediately Scunch Spider-Man pointing this game. Gaddy bringing the Barnshee immediately. Marquitos not caring about this and just going straight for the jugular with the Raikan Scunch opener. Banning Gaddy's Raikan, so there aren't any swap-ins either. This is looking pretty intimidating.
Just found it funny, like mirrored card. And yeah, Antosik, they're definitely not Salad fans, but that's why I had to join, you know, like to make them understand.
I don't know. They seem to run Cernif a lot.
Yeah, true. Cernif is like a lot in the teams there.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Doiko once again, who I believe is the person who coined the like aggro Firekoish Cernif opener.
I think he was the first one I saw too, an exotic doing it. He or she's an X, I don't remember.
If nothing else, I do know that for a while people just named all their aggro Cernifs Doiko, so I just put two and two together from that.
Oh, good one. I didn't even pay attention to that.
So with that, we do see the other cat. What about second Ketsa in the back there with Firekoish Valish filling out the roster there? We've got basically our choice of melee on Marquitos' side. And honestly, okay, so Cernif is abysmal into this, so it's basically foregone that Gaddy picks Vola Yowler here, right?
I mean, Yola is definitely 100% pick there. Cerny has uses for the two last ones, Valash and Skunch. Vola is probably just good against, I mean, okay against everything.
I mean, yeah, I'd be more okay with the Cernif here if I didn't think there was going to be a cat set basically on the field at all times in this game.
Yeah, I mean, you can tank one.
Yeah.
But that's all.
One. I agree.
You can tank one. Let's go.
And then problem is, at that point, you know, we like, can you also eat the crystal spikes? Can you also eat the suplex?
True, but I still hear sometimes that nature beats fire. So like.
Oh, this is true. This is true. Like an appropriately set up Cernif will wall the world. It is a thing.
He's gonna drink a cup of tea, waiting you go +5/+5. So,
All right.
guys, let's see.
So into our fourth game here, and yeah, I have to say that at this point, I think that Marquitos is basically going to be running it down mid and hitting into one of these spots, probably the Barnshee. I don't know what this Scunch is going to be doing turn one here outside of dabbing out, or okay, just P-jabs Mufasa.
I mean, that's Tranvis. He resists definitely, so he can one-shot the Scunch. That's the strat you need to have, guys, if you want to have a bunch anti-Scunch.
Yep, there we go. The Strange Vest means that Gaddy does not die to that opener and is able to actually take out the Scunch. Means Barnshee's able to do its job? What's this?
Did you read the Ursula Q answer to Voldemort? Just love it.
The roasts. I feel like the biggest problem with Anna here, outside of a lot of the problems with Anna here, is the fact that Volfi's existence is such a damning sentiment for it. Still though, keeping our mind on the game here as second Ketsa synergy comes out here on Marquitos' side.
I mean, bringing Valash now against Karnj is pretty ballsy.
We don't know if this one's running Oshi in fairness, but I agree, it's kind of throwing caution to the wind, unless this is a sneaky swap. But at that point, I don't know. Why did you bring the Valash in the first place?
Yeah, then there's nothing that like still the Oshidashi. I mean, you just switch Barnge.
So do you anticipate the swap and just hard double into Scunch instead?
Oh, you mean the swap of Barnge? Yeah, he could do that, but we know Scunch is quicker than Raikan. So he still gets the kill on Valash.
I don't know if it kills it immediately if we're seeing a swap this turn.
What do you mean, on Valash, Oshidashi?
I don't know if Gaddy's running Oshi.
Oh, I mean...
not every Scunch runs Oshi. Some run Haitouchi instead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's still terrible for Valash here, because I'm assuming Marquitos does not run Energy Drink. I don't think we've seen this Valash really see much play yet on his team.
Yeah, but if he doesn't kill, he gets killed and gives a Prideful. I mean, actually, I'm not sure it kills the double in.
If we do see the spikes come down, that... I don't think that's going to be enough. We do see the Yoshi come out. It is enough. Okay, I was wrong to doubt you there.
And if no, it doesn't kill, he gets a Ninja Jutsu off as well. With a -1 defense right again, and already 2 deaths. Like, Scunch is such a monster when you don't have mental. It's a ban. It's worse than Yolar when you don't have a mental.
I agree completely. And people don't, like, whenever I'm on ladder and I'm running a team with Scunch, if people don't have a mental, I T-pose with it. If I'm on ladder and I don't have a mental, I ban Scunch.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Unless you've got that sweet Narc hit hidden somewhere as well, though. Yeah, with this in mind, obviously Marquitos is kind of running out of steam here. Both of his neutrals died in basically one hit.
Yeah, I know. He's gonna take a Ninja as well. Probably Raikan switch, because Ninja on -1 defense is just, yeah.
One thing that's refreshing about this sort of a tempo game is, you know, it's turn 3 and Marquitos only has three Tems left.
Yeah, true. Definitely a different pace. If I'm on ladder and I don't have 3 mentals, I ban Scunch and others. Yeah, I agree. Because even if you have 2, but the second one is Kinu, I mean, it doesn't work. You get one shot.
Oh man, that jutsu just annihilating this Raikan. It's gonna die to its own overexertion if it made the mistake of moving this turn.
Ooh, roar.
Okay, never mind.
That was pretty good, knowing you would just die there anyways.
Actually, no, that credit to Marquitos there. I also forgot how low stamina Roar was. I genuinely thought it was more stamina than that. I think it's kind of, once again, much of a muchness at this point. Yeah, you got the -1 attack on Yeller. You got Gyalis and Firecoish against twice as many Tems on Gaddy's side.
I mean, to be fair, Barnge dies from her sharp stabs. Wolfie just dies from her double up as well.
Totally still does.
But yeah, Yolar. I mean, yours, yeah, we'll just do a show off.
Actually, am I silly for doubting that Sharp Stabs kills from 43% on a Strange Vest one? I probably am because it's still super effective, but I don't know.
And Gallus has only double gash to it right now, that's true.
That's a point. As one of the things that we've seen consistently out of Marquitos is he doesn't bring his Gallus in early, meaning that he doesn't have hold up when it needs to come in and do things.
Yep. I mean, double gash is okay now, but
Fine, it'll kill the Volphy.
probably double up kills, yeah. Thank you for the follow, Don, please. Welcome, welcome. To the Club War Scream 2-1 for Temteros at the moment.
Not looking like it's going to turn into a 2-all, though. Unless Marquitos pulls some magic out of his hat, I'm seeing Gaddy running away with this one.
Yep, me too. Double gash, yeah. Oh, never mind. Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, no Kamama, so.
Oh, no, okay, so this makes sense.
Later, man.
That's a scout. That's purely for scout. That's Marquitos saying, okay, I'm losing. I want to make sure that that's the item that's on Gador.
Definitely a good info in case. But, I mean, what do you expect if you see it's not resistant badge or combo?
I mean,
Drill?
you want to make not something super wild card for later on. Like, if one of the teams that Temteros has brought is a Doom team, then maybe you want to make sure it's not Talisman, something crazy like that. The important thing is that it's good form to scout when you know you're behind.
Sure. I mean, there's just no way that he can come back from it now, so...
I couldn't agree more.
Definitely right. I love the poor sound of Wolfie when he dies. It's like, so sad.
Yeah, Volphy sound effects are pretty good. I mean, that Tem is pretty good.
True.
The degree to which you can play on its strengths and take advantage of the fact that so many, like what Bennett does with Volphy is very strong.
Yeah, it's like you have a multitude of ways to play Wolfie.
I agree.
I just love the bulky Wolfie as well.
There's a big niche for both. It's one fun thing about it. I've heard it be compared to like some of the more oppressive ground types in Pokemon, and I think the comparison's reasonable. In the meantime, though, looking back on this, yeah, no, Gallus is going to be able to take out maybe one or two more things. Probably just the one, but it evens out the TMR here a little bit.
Yeah. We will always continue doing that meme. Let's see. I was right, sir.
I was stupid for thinking it wouldn't, but like, woof.
I mean, Wolf is literally an oppressive ground type. I mean, his coverage.
I think you'll find
really
Earth type Potestas. But no, you're totally right.
So, this is gonna be 2-2.
Yeah, with that, they've got some good. They've got basically all. Okay, the one thing that Marquitos could try to do at this point, I mean, you could assume this is Doppel, and then you've basically got all the items scouted for Gaddy right now. On this set of their team, at least.
And you even know it's Ira too now.
Yep.
A little show off.
We do also identify the fact that that's a double screen on Gaddy as well.
Yep.
So that's one more good piece of information that Marquitos ran away with at the end of this match, losing this, but giving a lot of info to their team in the process. 2-all as Gaddy takes it away.
GG.
Does mean we're going to see some more different players out of Temteros at last, with Marquitos basically, as we've said previously, kind of just charging down until they get smacked, which is something people will do, especially if they got a player that they know they want to front, but then is, I don't know, the meme is always that they're in a time zone that doesn't work or something like that.
That local chat. Yep. I mean, there are two things I love in Club Wars. One is like the close games where it's like 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, etc. Or like the big 4-0 and you have the reverse sweep from only one player. That's like so hype.
Yeah, I love it when you see that. I feel like there's a couple separate ways it can go. Another one that I like is when you start seeing an early lead in the other, and it's sort of a similar sort of reverse sweep concept there. But all of those can be good, but there's something to be said for the steady climb, like what we're seeing.
True, and I have both names, two new names. Just write it down
Oh
as
boy,
well.
I'm not seeing Gaddy stay in then.
No, it will be Reito for Exotic French and Porrymans for Temteros.
Oh, we do get to see Power Man's play.
Yep. Porryman's definitely a bit more experimented as well, playing just since now 3 months, as I think. Getting Lee every day.
I mean, they started playing back in like early access release with everybody else, but I don't know how long they've been playing comp. I think I saw them play like back in August or something like that as well.
I mean, I don't like. I talked with him a couple of times because I coached him a bit, but
Oh yeah,
definitely a cool guy wanting really to just be better and only interested in PvP.
nice.
Like it. Like you can see 1,618 at the moment and 1,630 record.
With only 185 wins as well, that's actually kind of impressive.
Started 26-1, yeah, 26 January.
All right, predictions are up. We're into our matches. Reito versus Poramans. Temteros also finally gets blue side as well. That's something we haven't seen in a bit. And oh boy, it's one of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I coached him, so. So.
I see. Well, this is a familiar style of play in that case. I'm assuming that this is in that case Fat Volfy, your style of Grumper. The Calibus, I think, is the only outlier here that I don't usually see on your style of team. That's usually, once again, more of a
Yeah.
senior plat style of play.
Yeah, that's the only change actually. Because of some reasons, especially because of ranks, because there are just too many Ketsa users.
Mm-hmm. Having the Calibus to pivot into Ketsa is so invaluable.
Yeah, Calibus is just really strong at the moment.
I couldn't agree more. I think that it's by far, unless you've got other things that you want to be doing, like if you're looking for a toxic water, it's kind of the always pick. The Nagais is immediately banned. Makes sense coming out of Raito's team. Man, so this time it's Mooflank and a Tuvine.
Yeah.
Still rocking. Like every single one of them so far has been a Koish Cerny user.
And banning Barnes definitely shows that he wants to just go Yolar Kino.
Yep.
How will Reito decide to move against that? Will he pick a Kino as well, or just a full aggressive like Cernif Koish or Mooflank
Kinu
Koish?
Tuvine actually does work into this. Also, Kinu Vola, because they didn't ban the Vola immediately.
I mean, if you take Vola, he can take Grumper on the side.
That's a point. So we see a Fire Koish Cernif just running it down mid.
Yeah, I think Cernif or Mooflank is just now the best with it. I mean, because it's a Kino actually incoming, Cernif is just better. My bad.
Yeah. Because Koish Cernif means you just charge into the Yeller. Nothing that comes in wants to hit both of those attacks.
Yeah. Agreed.
As we've seen before, I mean, you were on the receiving end of a couple teams like this in fellow Tamers as well. It was pretty crushing to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I was playing Doom at that time. Like, that was definitely harder to answer aggro.
It's like, oh man, I want to get buffs off. Nope.
Hey, the time I Doom you, you killed 3 of my attempts. Let's go.
Okay, so we see the Calibus ban, which makes a lot of sense if you're trying to flex with Ketsa. You can't afford to have Calibus as a fortunate swap into that, and you can't afford Toxic Skin against such a physical-oriented team. It also kind of frees up the Volphy a bit. Calibus is one of those things that can kind of flex onto it.
Yeah, I think like for Poryman's one of his worst, and I mean just Agri's hard first of all. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. So not a good matchup for him.
I think the move flank is something he needs to be careful of. Obviously, another thing that Stall dreads is execution.
Yeah. The Kino was really
However,
good for the ban Kino.
Gulder feels incredible here.
Oh yeah, Golder feels amazing. I mean, suppose that Valorant will just be the last pick is better than Tuvan here, but it's the only thing that really annoys him.
I mean, yeah, at this point, like, yeah, if we'd seen Reito pick up either of the wins, then sure, the Grumper would have been valuable. It ain't that game, so yeah,
Oh
Valorant.
no, definitely not Grumper, yeah. When you have
Yeah,
two
no, Grumper
natures.
dies to like every Tim on Reito's board.
Yeah, Valorant just way better here. Actually,
no.
in a good spot. I don't
No!
understand why he goes Grumper. That is really a big mistake.
Like this screams to me, I want to get another Stonewall off.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only reason why I see you would want to pick Grumper. Of course, he's good against Vola. I mean, maybe forcing him to go 2-Vine. In that case, actually, it's not that bad. Oh, God. Okay.
I mean, is 2-Vine really that bad here, though?
I mean, Vulpy is really good against it. His Yolar, of course, really good against it as well. And Grumper is okay-ish against it.
Like, okay, I'm something of a 2-Vine apologist. Like, I side with Bennett over Ricky 10 in that debate, but like.
Oh, I'm not on Ricky 10's spot. I'm not saying 2-Vine is bad. I just feel Valorant has had better options here, especially because of Golder, Vulphy, Kinu.
You know what? I respect that. Yeah, you don't want to be taking the toxic takes when you don't want to, and Valorant's always better into those than otherwise.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean.
Still, though, into our fifth game, and yeah, no, once again, we see a buff and bounce sort of style here, although in this time, it's the Kinu that's jumping, which does mean that this, or she, aptly named, is going to be taking double attacks to the face, taking it down to half health immediately.
Oh, he doesn't die from another double up.
With the 0.8, it means that it is going to stay alive. Additionally, with the Gulder swap in, suddenly Reito's in kind of an awkward spot with that. Okay, I say that, but I don't think you even double up here. What I think you do is you Hypno the Gulder with the Koish, and then you, like, just keep water cutting Lilying.
Does it live with settling? Yeah, the one, yeah. I don't think it... 2 HP difference? If it's... Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Like the Hypno onto Gulder here just to keep your line alive, but
no,
yeah,
Jackson, because
would be more valuable.
No, whip, no, there's no synergy master.
Yeah, you don't want to be whipping here.
You do way more damage with water cutting Lily. But if it's, I mean, I didn't saw the settling proc, but settling should do the difference, to be honest. Because we were talking about 2 HP, actually 4 was it? Yeah, it should still do the work.
That's enough.
But yeah, Kinu could just come back. That's definitely what I would do as well.
Yeah,
so...
you're still eating a cat.
Sure, but you one-shot something. Like, you one-shot Kosh.
One of the reasons why I still like the Hypno Gulder approach to this particular board. Like, let Yowler get one attack off. It's not KOing either of these Tems. It'll get close, but it's not going to actually KO
it. Yeah, true. But your Revitalize can be quicker than the Ketsa. I mean, yeah, actually, yeah. It depends on the Kino TVs.
Yep.
I think you have to sack something here, unfortunately. That's the problem when you're in Chamomile, Yolar. You can't just leave and say, okay, we redo it.
Yep, nope.
Oh, he could hibernate, though.
Needs one more turn to hibernate.
Oh, true. My bad. It's
If
only
he
13.
lived this double in thanks to this Kinu buff, which does look like the plan,
Definitely.
then oh, we see the Rainbow Guard rather than the Hypno. So a similar defensive play as I was expecting out of Reito, but not in the way that I had expected it. And oh my goodness.
That's what I mean. It's like fair trade.
Yeah, that's a big yikes.
Because now if he water cutting Lily, he dies as well.
The point where we see Parman's hibernate and then just sadness, right?
Revitalize hibernates, so in case he just still continues attacking, but
that sounds crushing. Like I think if you're Reito here, you still just charge into this Yowler. You cannot let it live. Your sole advantage here is that you're going to be going before the Kinu and the Yowler, so you have to finish this now.
Yeah, I kind of agree on that one.
And that's precisely what Reito does, sacrificing the Surnif to do this. Is this going to be enough? Okay, with the Koish it will be.
Oh, Revitalize is quicker! That's what I say, like, if it's quicker and now he hibernates? Oh, God! Yeah, that's what I thought, like, now it's... Hush.
Yep, this is the power of Chamomile Yowler, folks. And yeah, no, a lot of people are pointing out if Reito had attacked with the Koish rather than going for the defensive play, then we would have had a dead Yowler this turn.
Oh yeah, true. He was scared of Golder, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think that is what it was. I kept talking about the Hypno play inside that as well, but the more I look back on that, I think if you're going that lead, you have to throw caution to the wind, don't you? You can't afford to like play it safe and like try to even out your options. You have to go fast, go hard, and punch holes into the opposing team before it does this.
I mean, especially because if you don't read the Kinu switch, then you just kill Yolar. So there's not much reason to do that, especially because you know Golder's not gonna one-shot you anyways.
Yeah, not a lot of people run in... Well, okay, I don't know anyone that runs enough attack on their Golder to one-shot most Koish. Unless you're running, like, literally 0 HP Koish.
The fact that this Kinu can Hypno now? No, it can't, because, I mean, Fire Koish is not overexerted, yeah. That is so greedy from Porimans there. Staying with Kinu when you have a Fire Koish with synergy.
Oh, and it's Tender move. Reito might still have a leg in this. Poorman's still trying to read that, getting the show off on as well there, but inside that, you haven't noticed the goat. I'm assuming what he wanted to do was beta burst the moon flank inside that.
This is still amazing, because now, if you think about it, move flank needs only one more turn, and you can just execute. Keep one more tenderness.
Yeah, honestly, like one more tenderness onto Yowler, I think is a reasonable play. Nothing on the other side for Porimans does enough to move flank in a turn. Now I forget. Stat drops don't proc comebacker, do they?
No, they don't.
That's what I thought. So a neutral suplex alongside a plague shouldn't be enough to take out a
No,
flank.
I don't think so neither. It's still quite bulky as a time.
Like, it'll hurt. It'll probably take it down to what, 20%, 25?
Yeah. In that area. But then the problem is still not Wolfie, because you can't execute. Because Wolfie would kill then the turn after that.
Yep. No, you gotta zone the Wolfie at this point, but the Firekoish is kind of pooped out here. It's at 7.7% stamina. It's not looking like it's gonna be able to do that. I mean, you could just sack it here and full smork into... Actually, okay, did the Koish OX? It looks like it OX'd.
Yeah, it OX'd.
Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you definitely can't attack with the Koish this turn. Do you... I feel like hard resting with the Koish on this board is asking for trouble, so do you swap in the punching bag to Vine?
The problem is, like, if you don't have 2 Vine, your only way to deal with Golder is move flank. It's not that easy.
Not wrong.
I would probably Wolfie is the like. I mean, I know you need Wolfie for Grumper, but
I mean, Moonflank can deal with whichever one.
I mean,
Like,
what was the damage he's gonna take now? Oh, never mind. They don't focus Yola.
Okay, so
They don't.
a +1 suplex might still KO from here, actually.
Yeah, no tenderness.
Just
Wow.
doesn't, and the exhaust is missed as well.
Yeah.
But at +1 speed, that execution is not outspeeding anything on this board.
Nope, you can just Goring.
Just boring.
I mean, that tenderness was really needed, but was that even enough to not die from Plague this turn? I don't think so.
Well, I mean, he dies this turn to anything anyways. He used his priority last turn, so he's just kind of dead in the water. Also, important to note, Chamomile 2-Vine does mean that it's an appropriate, like, quote, answer, unquote, to Handcuff's Volphy to a degree, because usually you just want to be clicking Plague on 2-Vine anyways. The base jump does still outspeed, though.
Yeah, he had +1, so it was possible depending on the TVs.
Yeah, it wasn't set in stone. It's nice to see, because this does mean that this is now a solid KO. I spoke too soon there. Man, 2-Vine just not doing what I wanted to do inside a game.
I mean, yeah. That's my kind of Wolfie, so...
Yep.
It tanks a bit.
It's looking like Reito's running out. Well, okay. It's looking like a lot of this has snowballed off of those first few turns, right? Not getting the KO on the Yowler early means it's just been able to sit there and hasn't really had to worry about its own life inside that. It's just been, you know, having a good time.
Yeah, this is really hard for Reito to come back here. Depending on the Wolfie speed. Because move flank was quicker. I don't know how much speed he has on move flank though.
I mean, it wouldn't. Okay, so if we assume it's like 130 creeping to beat other people on the 3 prio with Goring, or alternately it's like speed calc to hit certain breakpoints at +1 speed, then both of those would be reasonable to assume for that, for outspeeding the Volphy and still having enough HP to survive the double in that it had, while then also hitting hard enough with Goring and base jump.
Yup. But yeah, the other Wolfie definitely quicker than Puriman's Wolfie. Crystal Plume, did he attack? No, rest. He didn't want to overexert.
My boy's probably packing Noxious Bomb for that instant nature push kill when you should be packing the H-Slap.
Yeah, but the other thing now is like, even Plague, I mean, you get one-shotted with Wolfie, but you can Plague him to overexert if he does any move that is not clinch.
I mean, you're right, you could sacrifice a Tem for one turn of Yowler not attacking, but Yowler's not attacking next turn anyway.
I mean...
I suppose it still could, and then you just, like, finish the game with Gulder.
Yeah. I mean, you can maybe kill Grumper with Plague.
Killing Grumper here, because a CPG and a Plague just kills Grumper.
Yeah, I just feel you really need a 2-Vine for Gulder, but...
Like, at this point, the other side of this here is that this is a Camo Yowler, it's out of immunity, it means it can be Hypnoed and ignored until absolute last minute. So, assuming something dies this turn, probably the 2-Vine to what, a Suplex?
Even Thunder Strike kills it.
That's fair, actually. So we see the Dust Vortex come down,
Maybe that, yeah.
down as well. And yeah, oh, right, I forget. Your Grumper survives those.
Yep.
Yep. My poor boy 2-Vine. It doesn't feel like that was a max attack one at all. Those are the only kinds that I agree with. And with that double KO, this certainly seals Reito's exit from this match. And the third win going to Temteros.
Yup. I mean, well played from Porimans, except the Grumper pick.
I mean, yeah, no, honestly, the Grumper still kind of worked out here. Like,
I mean, he did one Thunder Strike, but
it was something.
it was something, true.
Also drew fire, which I'm not entirely sure if his other pick would have. But
yes,
yeah, with Porimans runs away with it.
GG to both players. Temteros advancing to 3-2 for this Club Wars.
Absolutely.
Wolfie is seen passing Mars.
Yikes. And yes, as Potestus is pointing out, the 2-Vine would have been much better into Valorant as well.
Yep, Scallywag. Want to sell Scallywag OT temp cards now only 20k.
Oh no.
Oh, please.
Just gotta throw as many scummy messages into that chat as possible.
Scammywag.
Scammywag. Yikes. Well, with that, we only have 2 players left on Exotic French now. You know that one of them is Gaddy, but we have a mystery player still yet to be seen.
Yep.
I'm kind of hoping it's someone else that I haven't seen, like Sagish or Sreezan or someone like that.
I mean, they try to make play every, like, more newer into the competitive, let's say it like that. Play. I mean, we saw it with the people playing it today. Definitely taking. I think it's just an amazing experience, Club Wars for players.
As we've said previously, one of the things that I very much enjoy about Club Wars, especially in this kind of exhibition format that you've showcased, is the fact that it does allow for people who otherwise aren't fully comfortable like throwing their weight around in tournaments, starting like it helps them get used to that kind of an environment and what decisions you have to make inside that while being backed by other players who have additional experience.
Yeah. Having like the veterans behind you, you learn so much more than doing your own ranks on your own.
Mm-hmm. It's just a different feel to it.
True.
The other side of that is being assertive about your plays. Just as many times, like poor reads inside this kind of a format can come from other people trying to direct your team when you know what you're doing. Who's Gaddy up against?
It's gonna be Gaddy against Luvia.
Oh, okay.
We see more and more new people into the PvP. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm really excited about all of these new Temteros names.
Definitely doing a good job. Nobody got revealed my drill user today. Oh, they are in. Let's go, guys. Gaddy against Luvia.
Best of luck to both in our 6th of our Club Wars games. Well, we've already seen Gaddy's team, but I'm interested in seeing what Luvia is bringing. And, well, there's a couple key differences between these teams.
Double nature.
One has a Yowler. The other has a Valish.
Yeah, definitely. Thinking about banning the bunch for his Yolar.
Look at this. It is literally the Ketsa user and the 2 neutrals that is the difference on both of these teams. So this is a very even matchup in that case. So yeah, as we can see here, banning the Barnshe is obviously a good move. And so you can flex with Scunch. You kind of need to do that when you're running Scunch. Just get rid of the mental.
True. They banned Wolf. I mean, I'm still surprised about really like the Wolfie ban.
I'm kind of surprised about the Wolfie ban too. If you wanted to like get rid of something that you don't want to Ketsa, then surely the Raikan would have been a better ban there. If you wanted to like,
I mean, yeah, and like for the Grumper, he still has Cernif too. Like, there's like, I don't understand why, but we'll see.
Absolutely.
Oh.
I mean, okay. What? No. Actually, no. That feels like it's more for Valish than it is for Grumper.
No. His internet run down. That's why you see
No.
first pick, first ban.
Oh, okay, right. Well, in that case, obviously this is your prerogative here, but do you want to reset this match in that case to ensure that this is an appropriate game between Luvia and Gaddy?
Alright, I need to... Sí, sí, por Iman está entendido, pero ¿puede volver? Está intentándolo, sí. Vamos a recrear la game. Nico, tu m'entends?
We apologize for the technical difficulties here, folks.
Sorry guys, wanna be fair, he lost his internet. We're still only in the pick and ban phase, so...
Absolutely, especially since
Definitely
it's such
gonna
an
redo
obvious
it.
disconnect that's so disadvantageous. It feels very reasonable to try to get a rematch headed up.
Yeah. And we aren't doing Scrim like too. It's like, Porimans, estamos haciendo algo para practicar, no algo con reglas de torneos. No hay un problema, vamos a cancelar la partida y hacémoslo de nuevo. Let me write Neko, because I don't think she's hearing.
If none of them have ears in our chat here, then hold up. Somebody must be back because the Yaller just got banned rather than the Raikan.
Yeah, maybe he. Yeah, that's what I.
People.
So we're
Well,
just gonna restart that.
yeah, let's see a quick reset on that. That does explain the Volfi ban.
Yeah, that explains the Wolfie ban, because there was just no reason banning Wolfie for him.
I mean, hey, it's good trying to intuit one when there isn't, but it's, man, yeah, the DC makes much more sense there. Always something you have to be careful about when you're playing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how they would deal with that in a real, because it's still pick and ban phase. Normally, it's always remake it, and like we're doing a Scrim too, so there's just no way we're gonna.
When it's that early on and it's so obviously like more so in draft than in any other scenario, it's very easy to identify the fact that somebody has actually just disconnected because of the top-down system, right?
Yeah.
So inside that, I don't see any reason why, especially in like a, as you say, more official setting, anyone would not just allow people to reset for that.
So there's no sorry, because I was explaining to Neko, she was asking me for the pick and ban what they do. We're just gonna redo it. There's no pick and, I mean, they can pick and ban whatever they want, because he was like crashed before banning.
Cool. Well, in that case, we're just waiting for both of our contestants to re-enter.
Yep.
Thank you all for your patience. Obviously, you know, we got to give Temteros a fair shout here. And that's just a horrible thing to see happen. And we're back in.
Let's go. May I ask, where did you get the dye for your characters here? So Zoom XD, you don't have white dyes at the moment. The only way to get it is like when you start the game, you have the option to have white hair. That's why I have white hair.
You can get white dyes.
Oh yeah, in the well?
From the well.
Sorry. From the well. Good luck.
Yeah, no, it's a very hard check for that. Okay, so we do see the Yaller ban right off the bat here.
But I
Okay.
mean, you're right.
This makes more sense.
This makes more sense, definitely.
All right, so will we still see a Cerny first pick? I'm not entirely sure. This feels much more reasonable to see like mirroring aggro Ketsa leads. because I don't see
Yeah,
you wanting to lead Valish into this at all. Grumper doesn't feel very comfortable. Valorant feels out of place in that opener unless you're going for like a weird Fire Koish opener.
true. Mouflane could be a choice, but
Yeah, like I like Koish Mouflank. I think that's reasonable. But then you also have you could still lead Cernif into this.
yeah, I think Cernif Kosh is definitely reasonable too. Because he needs two Ketsa to kill you anyways, and you get the water cutting 2 times.
Yeah, you just kill the Scunch and then try to hit anything else that comes in.
Yeah, because this is definitely Smork against Smork.
Oh, absolutely. And we've seen Gaddy play, and we definitely know that they're into the clicking buttons rather than necessarily making swaps. Although there's been some reasonable interplay with that. I think that's a little bit too remiss of me to say, like, oh yeah, no, we're not going to see any swaps here. But
I mean, yeah. I mean, we always meme about Smork is just attack, 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 but sometimes you have a strategic pivot.
I think that it's important for those, absolutely. Especially when, once again, we're actually seeing a threat of Barnshee just dying turn 1 here.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the speed, because like,
hold on, Gaddy's not strange fast. Gaddy's fine.
yeah, and other thing is like, Mouflane is probably not quicker than Bunch.
Especially not turn 1. So if we expect the move flank to get focused here, Luvia could be in a rough spot.
True, I mean, it's definitely a good answer he brought there, because of Strange Vest. I mean, he could go for Scunch, but...
The problem is with the Barnshee gone, you really, like... If Luvia isn't running Tenderness on their move flank, then they don't really have anything else that touches Yowler comfortably.
Yolar is banned.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying for that first ban, I was like, okay, so why
Oh.
wouldn't they have banned the Barnshee knowing that it's Strange Vest?
Okay, yeah.
That's my sort of line of thinking there. Because, yeah, the more that I look at this, I mean, sure, the Valish deals with it, but you can't lead with Valish here.
It's pretty hard with two Ketsas, and Evan's Scunch will feel like...
I mean, okay. Now that I think about it, the Volfi could stand a chance of dealing with this Barnshee. Because it's Strange Vest.
Yeah, true. It's gonna hurt a lot, actually, with Plague.
Yeah. I feel like that's Luvia's best answer against it. The problem is, how does he get on the board? You're getting a P-Jab and a Beta Burst into that spot turn 1, and the move flank's probably what's getting that.
Yeah, I think you need to just, in your unknowing, you will die. I mean, you will lose move flank turn 2 and just kill the Scunch, then you can bring Vulfi as well easier.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Especially because Barn's stamina is like really... If you don't play Windburst, you do 2 moves and you're out.
I agree. I feel like a lot of people are just okay with that.
I don't know. I really love Windburst, like 12 stamina for 90 base power move. It's just so good.
Oh, I agree. It's a strong move. It's just that people tend to gravitate towards your hypoxias and things like that for raw damage output. Like, there's an argument to be made for it for both styles of Barnshee as well. But
True.
we've seen a lot of good use out of Windburst in especially, like, you know, your hard aggro air specialist Barnshees. Still, with that, we go into our next game here.
Let's go. So what is this? Beta burst move flank and a perfect jab coach for a noxious bomb kill.
That seems reasonable. Unless you're just doubling Scunch at this point. Sorry, doubling move flank at this point, but I don't see the beta burst. I don't see the P-Jab being meaningful on that, so I think your P-Jab on Koish makes more sense there. Nothing swaps into any of that comfortably, so we're just going to see hard smorks here as the Quetzalenu comes down, and 35% into Scunch. That looks like it's just immediately dying.
Dan, man, thank you. I'm cute. That's really, really kind of you saying that. How do you pronounce issue?
I mean, issue, clearly. So my only problem with the Valorend here is that needs to be a very fast Valorend to not just die to the Ket's goring here, right?
Yep. I mean, that did
Either
so much to move. Like, you can have an energy manipulation, actually, just finish it, but...
Oh, that's true. That's true. Um, since it was hard focused, it probably does outspeed, but it's actually I'm not sure of that because we already know this is a neutrality Barnshee. We don't really know what speed it's running. But neutrality tends to be a bit slower, and Barnshee doesn't have the best base speed to begin with at 60.
I mean, I was reading when the skill animation of move flanks. I don't know which one attack it first, the beta burst or the base jump. Did you see?
Oh no, it was the beta burst.
So in that
But
case, and it's
Peter
just always quick.
is on orange now.
Oh.
So that could be a speed tie.
But I mean, that's always the case when... wait, there was a speed tie? Oh yeah, that means there was a speed tie.
Yep, so this means that the move flank probably is going first.
Actually, if he P-jab beta, he would have made... Nah, but nah. Does that
Nah.
70%? Nah.
That doesn't do 17.
I mean, I did 25 on Kosh, but it's not the same defenses.
Okay, so Luvia blinks, sends out the Valish instead to eat the Emanip alongside alongside just allowing the Koish to die here. It still does get at least the Quetzalenu off.
Sure thing. But like,
Is it
Warrant
Hyp-
isn't a
It did
rough
Hypno instead. Yeah, it clicked Hypno, because otherwise the 3 Prio would have gone before the Feathergat. Interesting.
Yeah, because now the problem is like, rough spot. Barnes can't stay there.
So you Crystal Spikes Water Cannon? That doesn't feel good. No, this is Madness buff. That has to be.
Yeah, I think this is Madness buff too, for sure. And I suppose with Skosh you just go ham, you just don't go get sent to Barnes.
Yeah. It's not like you're living a turn after this.
Wait, did this speed? No.
It also makes sense getting this is a good setup for Madness buff. It also means that you've got more of an answer to the Volarend.
I mean, the pro are the 2 fires behind. That's the only problem.
True.
Because he could even make a double switch there into like Raikan and Fire Kosh.
Yeah, Raikan Fire Koish scares the bejesus out of Vilash, but you've got a move flank that still has a Goring up that can probably do like a reasonable chunklet of Koish or Raikan's HP out. I don't want to say 50%, but probably more like 40.
Okay, my problem was that like, now if you switch Volarant for Raikan, because they're probably not attacking that spot, and you switch the Fire Kosh to be just securing in case Water Cannon, he makes a read, I don't know. If he then double focus the Velash spot, there's nothing coming there that's gonna like it. Raikan can even probably take a Prideful on Kosh. If he wants
That's
to.
a very good point here. The double fire means that it's a very awkward thing trying to lean on Valish in the way that we're suggesting. But it's not like you can safely have Volfi in that spot either in that case, right? It does look like Gadi's doing what you're suggesting, though.
Yeah, my problem is like, even if... Okay, then you need to switch it on Kosh, yeah. To be sure he doesn't focus that spot. But... No, actually, he can still focus double that spot, but Raikan will always be slower, but would not die from this Vortex, probably. Oh, he's not even Madness buffing. Okay.
Yep, just went straight for the kill instead.
So you can definitely just ignore Valash.
Yeah, especially now that it doesn't have a Madness buff up. It isn't going to be doing anything to these Tems, and you have the things out that wall it pretty effectively here.
True. So, I mean, in my opinion, they're the Valash switches. But the thing is, like, I would switch Raikan probably, just in case for the Dust Vortex. You can switch it into Barnes, it's not in a bad spot. I mean, I don't see Valash staying against the double fire.
I mean, this isn't a Lola playing, so I have to agree. But yeah, no, this is not the field in which you Madness buff or stay at all. Like, if he had one more hold up, I'd say there's an argument for trying to do some kind of a cheesy Rend thing if you really think you can make that work. But the Volfi wants the actual super effective damage against these guys. It doesn't make as much sense.
I mean, this Vortex and Plague is just neutral against Koish, but yeah, against
Yeah, I guess Raiken.
Raiken. That's why I would just switch it into Bunch, reading the switch. And if he switches anyways, Bunch is not... I mean, Wolfit's not great, but against the two other ones, it's okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, so Valash does bounce, bringing in the Koish's.
Oh, he didn't switch. Wait, Raiken is faster than Viper? Oh, why is Raiken faster than Fire Gosh?
Oh no!
That what?
Gaddy
Sorry?
speed tiering, removing a perfectly served prideful buff. It's a sad thing to see, although at this point I think it's kind of... Actually, no, that prideful buff would have made a difference here.
Oh yeah,
because,
definitely. It would be quicker.
Yeah, exactly. Then the move flank. Yeah, at +1, especially Raiken going that fast would have outsped this move flank for sure. But, welp!
Yeah, that surprised me quite a bit. Yeah, well now it's a bit rough, because I mean... He doesn't have any synergy anyways. The good thing is his wall is already +1. Raiken will speed the flank.
Yeah, there's some
I mean, Goring.
upside there for that, but the Goring's going to be going down.
It's 3-2 for Temteros, Air Soul EQ at home.
Like it's about to become 4-2. I mean, I'm not saying that Gaddy's completely out of the field here, but it's definitely looking like there are some problems that Gaddy has to overcome that are going to be relatively challenging. Having the +1 speed on Valorant, as you've suggested, is very valuable. But outside of getting the luxury kill on move flank, what else precisely is that going to accomplish here? Actually, okay, I tell a lie. Onto this particular field, Toxic Plume still feels amazing. But we see Suzanne come out instead.
I mean, energy manipulation again, but then you lose a round if he just switches. And actually, move flank is +1 speed, so you don't outspeed anyways.
I almost feel like this is more just to tornado the Koish.
Oh, he's outspeed, definitely was +1.
Oh no!
Goring.
No, I think I know what this is. This is setting up for a turbo choreography on the Valorant.
Is it? I mean, it would be good for Bunch, but... And voila, yeah, next time. Oh,
Yep.
yeah, Hyper, yeah.
We saw it in a previous match with Gaddy where they did a similar thing there. It looks like the same board where you would want to try to set that up. And +3 Vola would do a lot against what exists on Luvia's side, especially since the Valash did not get the Madness buff off.
For sure, but... Yeah, it's like... I don't know if you can afford to not kill something, but then next turn you kill for sure bows, but...
Nope, they stay in, and we're going to see what happens here. Obviously, the Strange Vest means that Suzanne does survive, gets the energy manip off onto the move flank.
But at the same time, would not have been bad to have the turbo just to outspeed Valash as well. With,
I suppose you can still do that this turn, but I don't feel like you can afford to do that this turn.
No.
Because now Valash just comes in and starts...
would have been the turn before, so your Bunch don't die and get an attack off to Valash, like Hyper Tornado. Because if he did turbo, he would just knocks the Koish, energy manip the move flank, double kill, Valash comes in, Tornado Hyper, dead, out.
The reason why I feel like having that turbo that turn probably would have not sucked, because then, you know, you need this turn anyways, you kill the move flank.
It was actually really the best play.
It is, as I'm assuming that we could still yet see a Madness buff come out.
Yeah, because that's the problem. Valash quicker. I mean, gets Vola can just finish it.
Yeah, I suppose you could just hit the Valash. Over red!
So
Sorry,
actually, it's still
weird brain math where it's like, oh yeah, you don't target the Valash here.
possible, honestly. There, for Gaddy, you just feather Gatling the Valash, hold the hyper, gets a Valorant to make it at the range for one hyper.
Yeah, at -1 special defense, you live 1 C spikes and probably one thing that Valorant does. It does depend as to what this Valorant is, though. We've seen nothing about it. If it's Doppel, then we could just see the Valorant go down this
I
turn.
mean, there will be no C spike. It's +1 speed wall already.
Crystal Dust.
Yeah. Then you have to. Wait, does it outspeed? We need to. It depends on Valash speed. Now you need to hyper then. Huh?
Yeah, you'd need to spend the hyper on it, and I don't feel like you want to do that.
At the same time, you don't want to get spiked.
Nope.
But Crystal Dust is. I mean, now his quicker. Okay. Because I was really depending on Valash TVs to be quicker with.
Although, in my opinion, like you want to be running Valash fast these days.
I agree.
So the Feathergat comes down, and even with Doppel, that is nowhere near enough, thanks to the double screen that we saw earlier.
Oof, so... Did you mispredict saying 4-2?
Quite possibly. It looks like Gaddy has pulled the rabbit out of their hat.
Because Valorant is anaerobic for Luvia. So you can have... you can just... Noxious Bomb Gorge, Hypno Vola.
As a side note here, I've never felt good about Doppel anaerobic.
I mean, I think it's still viable when you need Sweatband on something else.
If you need Sweatband on something else, why not just go double screen?
Because you still have a way to deal with Iroh. And in a way, I mean, doing some damage to it.
Do
Let's
you
say
though?
like that.
You just lose that matchup.
Ooh, hey, thanks to Doppel, it nearly...
Yeah, except Doppelganger Brooch doesn't work
I
effectively.
I know.
If it did, that might have killed, though.
Oh yeah, that would have killed for sure if it did work.
Yep, no, through a remarkable maneuvering of the board there and some good predicts, Gaddy does wind up on top.
Yeah, Hyper gets that, definitely takes that.
Yep. I mean, honestly, I think it's just the hyper. This Vola has no buffs. Nope, wrong again.
Because high special defense at the same time, but...
I mean, yeah, I do underestimate that on occasion.
GG, Exotic bringing it back to 3-3, guys. And thank you, Jackson.
Also, hi Saga. No, the title doesn't say Jane 10. Sorry if I am misadvertising here. And well played once again to Gaddy, taking things back to a 3-3.
A lot of people here. Hello, hello. So, let me jump to Discord and talk with both clubs.
All right. Well, I have to say we've seen a lot of similar teams come out from both Temteros and Exotic French. Like, there's been a bit of a mix-up. Porman's brought a much slower team in comparison. There was a bit of diversity in terms of what neutrals were picked, and there was that one Size Munch team that was very nice that came out from Marquito. A lot of mixed aggro Cern Koish teams, though. A man of Telos is asking, will any team not have a Quetzalcoatl or Raikan? I mean, you know, there's a possibility. I live to dream. Also, Porman doesn't run that, so we have at least one here that isn't. But I can't say that about Exotic.
And talking about Porymans is gonna play against Gaddy.
Hey, there we go. I actually look forward to seeing how this winds up going here. Gaddy is probably going to be an effective match for Porymans inside this.
Right to everyone. Yup. Quarter, will any team not? Oh yeah, okay. But did it mistile something in the title? FT quarter? No, it's fine.
No, that's just somebody misreading the title there. I think the featuring threw people off.
Yeah. I see featuring quarter.
And with that, as the predictions come up, we're getting close. All right, so getting into this, our 7th match, Gaddy versus Porymans. I look forward to seeing how this winds up going. I think that Gaddy is a reasonable pick into this. The Barnshee is immediately banned. Temteros is learning. Also, this team is more capable of dealing with the Yowler, I think, is the other side of that there.
Hello, Bruce Wayne. And yeah, so Naga is Barnsh.
Yeah, the Nagai's ban also makes sense out of Gaddy there. Gaddy really can't afford to have that happen there. Okay, joke quickly in here though. You know, if the Cedar is on the board, then the Raikan hits last. It's something. But no, obviously you ban the Nagais for that. First pick off of Porymans for that is pretty straightforward, given that it's Camo Yowler. That was Camo Yowler, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't misremembering. Because I see the Grumper, I'm like, oh no, was this a different team? Am I stuffed? Okay, so is this just going to be a conventional Scunch Koish lead into this? If we're expecting the Kinu, that could be risky. Because then, unless you're banning, the problem is we have enough things that eat the Pjab Ketsa. Unless you're just Pjab Ketsaing the Yowler.
It really depends if he's made to survive a beta burst from Kino, because if that's the case, Yolar still dies. It's turn 2.
I haven't run my calcs on that in a while, but isn't that very dependent on the Kinu's spread?
Yeah, I agree, but like, are there really a lot of people spreading special attack in their Kinu?
I hope so. Special attack on Kinu is great.
Yeah, especially when you die on a switch. I don't know. No, I can't agree on that one. I feel it's not his role.
I'm not saying run max special attack. I'm saying like putting the 190 or something like that onto there instead of like a little bit of bulk from somewhere, or like not going max speed. I think that's a reasonable trade. It does depend on what you're doing.
Sure. I mean,
of course, Voldemort will just speak out against me. Voldemort saying special attack on Kinu is wasted. Of course you'd say that.
I mean, I would say that too. But yeah. 2 stall players, sure.
Man, wow. I'm so shocked by these opinions.
I'm sorry. You're the only aggro. So,
I'm never full aggro is the problem.
and actually, like, let's talk about that. Because Kinu, if he wants to beta burst there, he can't. He just dies from Ketsa before beta bursting anyways.
Part of that comes down, okay, I don't like saying it comes down to reads, but a part of that does come down to breeds, to reads.
To breeds, yeah, I mean,
yeah. Freud. Okay, so upside here, because the Calibus has been banned, most of the things that can come in onto either of the potential hits, okay, it's going to be the Kinu that swaps, and it's probably going to be the Yowler that's targeted, in my opinion.
I don't know if you take. I mean, it depends. If your Scunch doesn't resist the beta burst, you have to kill it. Sadly, even if it's a switch possible. If it's not, of course you double the all but if you know you tank it.
If you know that you're going to die to the Kinu, then you have to target it, meaning that the Grumper that I think probably comes in there. Yeah, no, it would have to be the Grumper that comes into that.
It really depends how Poryman's read that. He maybe just...
Golder can eat it too, I suppose.
He can just read that he thinks he knows Kinu switching, so he's gonna for the beer. But yeah, we'll see, guys.
See, this is what I'm talking about in terms of that comes down to the reads, because like, if all of this comes to naught because Gaddy just decides, all right, I'm just gonna charge into Yowler and get the damage where I can, and the minus defense on a Tem that, at this point, is trying to leverage the fact that it can keep the immunity up without having to lose its defensive buffs, then yeah, that's a reasonable play.
True, but now, like, look, he took Volpy, so there is no switch except Golder that lives the P-Jab gets up.
Oh, now we don't have Grumper there. Half of my argument there is no invalidated.
I mean, I can understand because he had already Cernief, and there's still Volpy on the bench. Like, I mean, Volpy's not great there, to be honest, so I would not take Volpy.
Yeah, I don't like Volpy into Poryman's lineup, but I suppose you still have to respect the fact that you could see something like that. Cernief is still an absolute terror.
Yeah,
Skunch also eradicates Grumper on the most circumstances.
for sure. I actually stay a lot with Kino, yeah, because a lot of people just read you're gonna switch. And then you do like the beta puke. So let's see, guys. Is Kino gonna stay or not?
Honestly, as much as I've hyped up Gaddy's chances here, once like, I think it's fair to say if Poryman is allowed the space that he was allowed last game, he's in a very good position.
Agreed.
We do have the Aerovola that can wall break very easily late game, but it has to survive, and it didn't. The double screen helps. The double screen helps a lot, but I'm not sure it will do enough. It also, however, is a pretty good answer to a very, like, pretty much everything in here. It's a reasonable, weirdly defensive swap.
I mean, Volpy dies for sure from the double. I mean, not for sure, actually. Not that. I mean, yeah. Let's say nothing will still like to double up.
No, even Golder doesn't like it. It'll eat it, but like, I suppose that's Golder's job. It's HP and also a bit of poison.
But then next turn he still dies before doing a single move. Cerny Velocity could be a problem. I mean, Golder and Vol are like the big answers.
Yeah, you kind of want to save Golder for that. I think you do just keep the Kinu in here.
I mean, yeah, that's the risky play that could really pay, or just do nothing. Because when you, let's be honest, when you play tall, or mid-range tall, and your Kinu dies turn 1, you feel really bad. Really bad. Thank you for the subjects. Thank you.
Poryman does as well. Sorry for interrupting your shout out.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for the 3 months. I appreciate it, mate.
A double swap. Whoa. Okay, that I didn't expect under any circumstance here.
Neither.
So that was just confirming that he had what he wanted in the back.
But wow, what? Also, I don't understand.
No, I see that completely. So that was the P-Jab onto the Yowler just to get the defense down, and then just trying to blap the Kinu. I'm fairly certain that's what that was.
Oh yeah, no. I agree on that. I just don't agree on the Yowler switch Kamuma. Like,
oh yeah, switching the Yowler after that. But at the same time, like, he's saved that entire process for later, and I think he just wants to whittle down this lead.
Yeah, but no, Vola just dies. Golder -1 Savage Suplex not gonna like it. He loses so much momentum on that.
+1 HKS and the tank at least takes care of Koish. Like, sure. That's out of the way now.
But Vola dies too. Vola dies and Golder is really harmed. Let's say it like that.
Yeah, I mean, double screen means it's not gonna suck too bad, but it's still gonna suck.
Oh yeah, but what I really mean is just like he's killing the 2 only Cernief answers. Like, you can have
Oh,
Yolar.
yeah, you're right. Both of those are his only Cerny answers. That slipped my mind for a second. Those are both of his Toxics on the board.
That's so good for Gaddy at the moment.
The problem is the Volphy couldn't have really swapped in where the Vola did.
Yeah, so, bye-bye. Oh, he decided to switch, okay. Sure.
I mean, that's slightly better for the Goulder, because now it can at least bounce out and it's not like 100% dead. Problem is the Koish lives one more turn because of the awkward percentages there for the Toxic Ink.
Wow, that is so huge for Gaddy being able to... Like, he needs to put Wolfie now, but at the same time, if he does that, he gets killed by Scunch. I mean, no, I mean, yeah, it's yeah, you have no way now, so you get a free Ketsa, bah. Scunch full life, full hold.
Yeah, like, the argument that I have here is why waste stamina and, like, good moves on Scunch at this point? Actually, okay, I suppose Gaddy could just Oshi the Volphy. That is entirely a possibility here. Sephiroki, I believe that's because Gaddy does not run Haitouchi. We've seen Gaddy click Oshi Dashi beforehand, and you rarely see a Scunch run both Oshi Dashi and Haitouchi on the same set.
Yeah, you have so many good moves actually that you can't afford it.
I have yet to see someone go full hold moves on Scunch, and I don't think it's a good idea. I think you need PJ.
Yeah, definitely. It's just so good with this kit as well.
Absolutely.
Because Cage is another good move, but you don't even have a slot for that, so...
Oh god, yeah, where do you even put that? Although I love the idea of it, it's like, the problem is you want the Cage on anything that isn't Scunch, because you want Scunch to actually use its stamina to kill things.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about trying support Scunch or bulky Scunch with Stonewall, Cage, etc. in my stall team.
Oh, you should talk to Kaz about that. He loves his bulky Scunch.
Yeah, definitely has some interesting ideas. I mean, the Tem.
So this feels like a very easy... Okay, I would say this is an easy Kinu swap, but this damn Koish is still alive.
Yes, Reiner. And yeah, this Koish will get the Getza. And yours, no buff, no off, just...
Yeah, the fact that the Yeller came out this turn feels just terrible, but what other options did Pormans have? I feel like actually the Kinu would have been better there, but none of these feel good.
Yeah, nope. Ninja Jutsu still dealing so much. Gets the same spot? Yes, gets the same spot. Yep, okay. So you only get a +1 Yola. I mean, only, it's still really good, but...
It's a slightly better board for the Yowler, but a lot was sacrificed to make this a thing.
Yep. I mean, Scunch can take a little break now, I suppose. Cerny... I mean, actually not Cerny, probably something else, because you switch Scunch for Cerny.
Like, okay, so doesn't the Raiken pop in black... Actually, okay. I feel like the combination of Volarend, Scunch, and Raiken just runs away with this at this point, right? Like, do you even need Cerny?
But I think you bring Volarend now because you expect Goulder, but... I don't know if he brings Wolfie. Because if he brings Wolfie, it's a free kill for Scunch. He doesn't even need to go away, right?
Yeah. Because, I mean, then I suppose you just Oshi the Volphy and, like, Feathercat it.
He still brings it, okay.
Oh, boy. Well, at this point, I think Porman's back is against the wall, but...
Yeah, it's like y'all are against the wall. And a bit. So
yeah, he doesn't have any other ways to buff the Yowler either, so it feels very unfortunate. Also, he had to bring it in, like, with the immunity still up, so he doesn't have the opportunity to hibernate for free either.
Yeah, Oshi gets up, makes the kill, perfect thing, because it's a bulky
absolutely. One. Gaddy gets the delicious Prideful with still half stamina on Aslan.
Yeah, that's why I said he can't bring Wolfie, but, I mean, it would be the same with Goulder, except Scunch kills the Goulder. Or would it have to P-Jab? Just P-Jab Ketsa?
Yeah, I think you could still afford to just P-Jab Ketsa there, and then you still have all your good moves for Yowler, which now is not protected from your suplex.
Yeah, now you can Ketsa the Golder. Get another Pride Felt.
I think we're one turn off this Scunch getting its second Jutsu off, right?
Yeah, but he overexerted there, so...
No, I'm saying, like, it rests this turn regardless.
Oh.
Like, I don't want Scunch to do things this turn. I'm saying, like, if it lives another turn, it gets another Jutsu off.
Sure, but at the same time, I think it's a perfect switch for Cernev. Preparing the halls. Revitalize your Scunch.
Reasonable. Oh, good God. Or you're right. Yeah.
But he stays.
He's Ketsa's the Golder, getting another prideful buff. Does he live this with the overexert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a lot of stamina.
Oh, yeah, he was at like 55%.
But still flies to Mars.
Well, so remember when I said that this Scunch could just rest?
No, it's not any more Synergy Masters if you switch the Scunch out. He needs to be on the field.
So this is very quickly escalated into Gaddy's favor, but this is, as we were both saying earlier, Stahl has a hard time into sustained pressure like this, and that we definitely saw that this game.
Yep.
Although I do think part of that came down to the wild swap turn 1, but like...
True. Like, that swap from the bear turn 1 costed him literally the game. Because Kunch did just go in brrr mode, like, killed everything with the
Absolutely.
Gensas.
Kunch just hasn't stopped this game.
Turn 7 still on the field. This is definitely Puppet Master's Kunch.
Yep.
Yeah, no, better trade in your me. Yeah, no, I mean, I understand when you don't have a lot of ways to deal with it, and Ketsa is... That's the problem. Firecore is such a threat that you can't ignore it neither, so... It's harsh to deal with both if you don't have the answers.
Absolutely.
And having the answers are actually not easy.
Especially when your team is as oriented around slowing the tempo of the game as Poor Man's is.
Yeah.
Like, if this was a mid-range aggro team, like, he wouldn't have had the same problems here. But the problem is, you know, you're trying to get your buffs off, and...
And he's just morphing into you and be more damage than you can buff.
You're just getting constant pressure on that. You can't put up with that.
Yeah.
As being here. Well played to Gaddy, bringing it up to 4. 4 exotic French. Temteros is on their last player. Will they make the comeback here that will bring them back into this? Or is exotic French going to clinch it out at the next game?
G and yeah, Black Oban bind first. Wow, this Gaddy versus Temteros Club Horse is great. Crazy that y'all are still did like 2 house bars worth of damage 1v4. I mean, yeah, it's...
Yeah, that's Yeller for you.
It's quite strong.
As Potesta said earlier, it's got the highest base stat total in the game. With the only bad stats being its speed and its special attack, 2 phenomenally useful stats on Yeller, as we all know.
Yep. And yes, of Telos. Gaddy had 3 wins.
Yep, definitely been taking the names.
So, let me get the names.
Are you sure you don't want to take time to make sure that Temteros can pick their last player?
Yeah, but I need to say to Temteros, like, who's the next? Okay, so I know it's Gaddy for exotic French.
Mm-hmm.
He's staying. They don't want to show the last. I don't know.
That makes sense. Keep it as a surprise in case Gaddy does not manage the final kill here.
Yep. Definitely being a killer here. Salut Neshama. Ça va arriver, je suppose, Nico.
Well, sadly, unlike the previous shows that we've seen from people like Shiznix against Transcend, uh, this isn't quite a 5-0, but still some strong showing out of Gotti.
Yep, definitely. Taifu Batman glasses when? On Voldemort's stream, maybe one day.
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna keep pushing him for Taifu emotes at this point. Like it's Grumville and Taifu that he champions, and you know I respect it. Somebody has to.
Quickly answering. Up. Ah. Being multifunction here.
And here we are with Mitsugo versus Gatti as what will potentially be our last game this evening.
True. Let me quickly do the predictions as well. Up. Oh, I closed the one before. So. Done, guys, if you want to vote. So, let's see Mitsugo's team. Oh, a triple melee synergy.
Yep. So this is a Size Munch team with okay, my biggest concern here is that if you ban Fire Koish, then you lose a bit of the oomph out of this team. Like, not all of it, but the fact that there aren't two Ketzas here means that all of these neutrals feel a bit much of a muchness.
I felt like
you haven't first banned Barnshi. Oh my god.
yeah, I would have banned the nature for sure, to be honest. Especially Cerniv.
I'm just looking at the sheer. Okay, even with Gallus and Valash here, I'm seeing what 3 Tems here that just die to Barnshi.
Yeah, Barn Cerniv were the best too, in my opinion. But like, you have more ways to deal with Barn than Cerniv. I find like Firecoach, of course, but I expected him to ban that instead of Mix, to be honest. But Mix, I still can't understand.
Yeah, no, Mix is still a concern for Gaddy. Like, there's ways around it, but I feel like that very much depends also on what style of Volfi Gaddy's playing and if Gaddy feels comfortable playing that Volfi right now.
Yep. We see a Firecoach instantly picked. So
I guess this secures the okay. The only way I can make sense of the Fire Koish ban there is, that's the best resist for Ketsa on Gaddy's side.
True. It frees a little bit, of course, the crystals, even if he still has Raikan, but
absolutely. If nothing else, Raikan runs out of steam faster.
Sure.
Especially since we've seen that this isn't a sweatband Raikan, so it's not staying on the field constantly getting value.
Does lesser damage, doesn't have Hypno. I mean, Hypno doesn't really care in this game. Everything is so quick in Mitsugo's team.
Oh, yeah. No, this has definitely been an aggro-heavy series.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned from Temteros is they sure do like them some Ketsa.
We're not we're soon at 3 hours. Like we waited what 15 minutes before to start as well, and we are at 4-3. So definitely a nice pace.
This is slightly awkward for Mitsuko in terms of like pick 2, but why not just still goes no, because Gaddy's got the Strange Fast. This is the problem with oh god. I really feel like the Barnshi would have been so good to get rid of, but the Vala could work here.
I still think picking the crystal to like pressure him, or even like a bait, you could even switch. I don't know.
That's also a reasonable thing. Like even just getting the Gallus or the Valash out, so that way you're putting attention on it. It's something.
Yeah, but Valash feels so harsh actually with Country, all our Wolfie and Raikan. Gallus still okay, but I bet you don't have that crystal pressure turn 1. I'm still
Yeah,
waiting for a Gallus Crystal Spike, but
Gaddy still bans it, so
it's really surprising. If you ban a Crystal, I feel it's always Gallus.
Gallus does feel like it exudes a lot more terror into this matchup. Like, it can deal with the Volphy very effectively. It can exist on the same field as Yowler.
And Skunch.
Yeah.
Even Cerny, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the button, but yeah, sure, let's go. He hates Valash too.
I mean, hey, you know, a lot of us can come together in hating Valish. I know Soliloquy has been vocal in chat, has also been a very avid hater on Valish.
Yeah, that time where Ketsa was not a thing and you saw Valash everywhere with buffs and madness buff and scavenger everywhere.
It's not like Ketsa got rid of Valish either, though. It just enables it.
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah.
And of course,
It
the
just
memes.
became part of that problem. Still, though, we're seeing some pretty quick picks here. Skunch into Vola, Gallus into Seismunch into Skunch. All seems pretty straightforward at this point. I kind of... Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like the move flank would have been stronger into this, but getting the Rex synergy feels reasonable.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I feel like move flank would have had more utility, potentially. I suppose you're not too worried about execution going off, and the goring only has so much value, but I don't know.
I mean, Bunch can't take that double hit, but Water Cannon doesn't feel great for Raikan. Really not Synergy Master.
So what's stopping just to double in on the Raikan, yeah? Like...
Yeah, nothing.
A Feathergat Water Cannon means the Vola can't swap in, the Skunch hates it. Cerny is the best possible swap in for it, but then you still get Ketsa the following turn.
So yeah, definitely doubling that Raikan. Probably not killing, but putting
to be
it
fair, it absolutely ate that Feathergat.
Ooh.
And the fact that...
Ooh.
Oh!
So close. Because if he took that, prideful proc.
So close.
Yeah. He would have been able to do one more attack, whatever happens. With a +1 attack. Shween's Horn Volrant.
That would be really... I keep thinking about running like Shween's Horn aerobic, but like... it just feels way too jank.
I'm waiting for Luke Leal to show us that.
I will tell no secrets. Okay, so... both of these Temp surviving is obviously a really cool thing, but...
Yeah, Valorant being +1 will always have the move first for sure.
It does mean that like you can just swap Vola at this point.
Yeah, I would say the same. You don't want to stay there. There's no reason. Could even switch. I mean, the problem is like if you switch into Gallus and he reads that and switch like Bunch into Skunch and gets at that spot. So you need like.
So this is why I feel like the move flank would have been a bit cooler here because Skunch cannot swap into this field, I mean, but a move flank could maybe swap into this field.
Oh, he didn't switch. Like, imagine if he switched now that for Skunch. Oh. That's what I meant, and gets at that spot.
And the Fin beat coming out there, eliminating this Raikan before it moved. Mitsugo is clearly styling right now. Also highlighting the chamomile mirroring Gallus that we've seen a lot more of.
Yep. Fin bid value.
That was just a good turn out of Mitsugo.
Yeah, because Finbit could have outspeed even the Synergy Master. The Synergy Ketsa.
Yeah.
So.
No, that just felt really good. Finbeat doesn't feel good on every Koish, but if you're running fast Koish, which I think is the better one, and you want to make sure that you're killing things, then it's absolutely a valuable option. Like, I feel like it's very hard deciding whether Rainbow Guard or Finbeat is the move you put on Koish.
I feel like both are situational, but Finbeat has more situation where it's good. Because first thing of, like with Guard, Rainbow Guard, you have the drill to take in consideration. And
Absolutely.
secondly, if you want to defend yourself, just Hypno him.
Oh, I agree. Like the biggest situations in which it comes out is if you're rocking cage and you want to maneuver with it, so you rainbow guard into a cage, or like you want to tech against Doom. Those are the options which rainbow guard shines.
Yeah. But Doom is like Brody. And that's all.
People still run Pocus on ladder.
Oh yeah, focus sometimes. Sure. But like, I feel so nearly everyone has 2 crystals now, and some even Grumper.
Oh yeah, you're very right.
Who the fuck is dooming a Kosh?
That's a good question, Sololo. So, right. I still think Gaddy's not in a bad spot here. It's just that like there's some repositioning that has to happen. I think the Scunch coming out is great. Problem is Scunch does not have any hold up. So the P-Jab's only putting so much work in. And there's nothing...
So yeah,
Cerny wants to be on the field, but Fire Koish exists.
the big problem here is like Bunch can't really have a good way here. He needs to go away. There's nothing here wanting to come taking the double easily, like you say, just perfect. Like Mitsuga is definitely an advantage at the moment in the game. That
Yeah,
Valorant
that
plus
one
one
turn
speed
was
behind.
really valuable for them, and the fact that Scunch doesn't have hold is really good too.
So yeah, voila, probably one of the wisest because you can still get hyper after that.
Yep, and you also have the Nox Bomb, I suppose.
Ooh,
especially
not
if looks like
focusing
they're
that
just hard
far.
targeting Scunch.
Well, never
Yeah.
mind. He readed that switch because, of course, yeah, you can't really afford it.
Yep. No, Mitsuku's playing like fire now. It looks like the combination of the Temteros players are putting everything they've learned so far to the test, and
They don't want to lose.
it's working out.
Yeah, definitely. Well played by Mitsugo. Because
Like-
you still can't kill that Kosh now in in a double tap. Oh, Noxious Bomb WCL can probably.
We're 4 turns in, and I think Mitsugo's just done like good reads every turn.
Yeah, I mean, was a rough spot as well for Gaddy at the start, honestly. Against Fire Kosh.
Hmm. So at this point, the question is, does Gaddy start changing their playstyle specifically to Scout, or do they still try charging for the win? Even though they're 3 to 5, the Valorant's basically a Nat's fart away from death, and I think Cernif is one of their better options to start pushing, especially with the -1 defense on Gallus. Now, the problem is it's on Gallus, and Gallus can swap.
Yeah, and the problem he needs to kill Kosh. To be able to have like a Cerneve in a good way. If he's able now to kill it with Noxious Bomb, WCL, sure.
They go for the
no.
Gallus.
Hmm.
Now, my reasoning is
Okay.
because they want to leverage their Barnshi, which styles on the other 2 Tems that exist for Mitsugo.
That is completely true. And Kosh has no more stamina. At the same time, you don't
Also-
want to risk the switch of Bunch. You probably go ham with Valorant until you'll just die.
Just keep pushing with Cernif and Vola. The Vola's going to die eventually.
The thing is, like, the big thing, Mitsuga has the speed arrow.
Mm-hmm.
So if he comes here with Vola, +1/+1.
I think the double screen helps, but no, we see Scunch.
Yeah, no, I mean, Hyper would just have killed the Vola. Probably. You think double screen saves it from Hyper?
Oh, no, except double screen has the same problems that every other item does. I keep forgetting. HKS is just weird.
I feel like that was not great at all for Mitsugo, what he just did here. Because if Vola kills someone else now here and takes another buff.
We could see like a Plumes into a Wuckle here on the Koish spot.
No, I think you ignore Kosh. Either he's hard overexerting this turn, either he just switches. Or do
Yeah,
you
I'm
think...
expecting to hit the swap then, because either Size Munch comes in and eats a fat water cutting lily, which it doesn't like,
True, because you
or the
have
Vola
bunch
comes
behinds.
in, which I don't think is possible. I don't think the Vola comes in. So
No.
either Koish is hard resting, hard overexerting, Vola dies, or Size Munch takes a lot of damage.
True. The thing is, Assertive quicker on Fire Kosh. Because otherwise your Vola
Does
dies.
that come down to spreads?
Oh, well.
It comes down to no
Okay.
part of this conversation because the Scunch is what's getting focused instead, as you suggested.
I mean, because now if Kosh is even overexert for it, he doesn't kill and is useless on the field.
And
Yeah,
he does!
I know he dies from a noxious bomb. I don't...
Oh, that's crushing!
So, I think both plays were good, but just getting rid of Sconge before he even do something, I feel it's really good.
Oh, absolutely. Removing a Tem before it does anything is generally a good course of action. Hard to argue with that one, Chief.
And now Vola is +2 as well, so you can't even bring your own Vola. This is harsh.
So, if we expect the Valoran to come out here and get a Hyperkinetic Strike revenge kill onto Gaddy's Vola, that's all well and good, but at that point, like, you know, the Cerneef still kills it.
Yeah, but Cerneef has to overexert for that, so it's not great neither. The problem is you need to get rid of that Koish for your
Does it
bind.
overexert? We're not seeing the Sweatband tick yet because it's not the start of the turn.
True. I mean, not with front whip, probably. I need to see the bar.
I mean, it's not like you're outspeeding anyways.
Yeah.
Size Munch feels like an interesting pick here.
I feel you give the... I don't...
I don't understand this.
Like you just double into Size Match.
Is bait?
And then Vola dies for nothing.
Yeah. I'm very curious about the reasoning for this. Unless this is for like a P-jab into something. That's... It could just be like a really fast Size Munch and then it uppercuts.
I mean, Hyper Vola even into bunch is still gonna hurt.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Is it enough? I don't think so.
No, but... The thing is, you don't attack Koish, that's shirting. Feels bad, ignoring it, but no choice.
And yeah, at 44.3%, that's a bit nicer on the stamina bar. I think that's still an overexertion for Water Cutting Lily, but as you said, Frondo I think is fine.
Yeah, I don't... you're quicker. But there's no way you kill with VCL and Feather Gatling. Wait, why did you Feather Gatling, Koish?
Just decided to kill the Koish instead because Barnshee just styles on Size Munch, but they don't get the kill. That's potentially game losing.
Wait, he did overexert there. It was there.
He did.
Why not front? I mean,
He overexerted.
Why not front whip? You would have killed.
I don't know why Gaddy didn't front whip there. Now, bright side. Anything on that side dies to Emanip.
Yeah, you can just Emanip, but like, I mean, Seismic didn't heat up. He has Dim Mac at some point, but
yeah, Dim Mac next turn.
might not have front whip. Like,
no, we've seen front whip out of Gaddy.
true.
We've 100%
And
seen
it's
front whip.
Velocity, yeah, true. So like, there's no way he doesn't have it, but yeah. Quarters right, we saw it earlier. I mean, energy manipulation will still be first.
Yeah, no, it kills anything in the left slot from Itsugo. It's just giving the
Fire
Size Munch breathing room feels a little spooky.
Yeah.
And Soliloquy, I agree with you. Whipless Cerneef is totally doable, and I still think on settling it's 100% a good call. It depends on how much you hate Nagai's. But, like, Gaddy has 100% used Frond Whip this series.
And anyways, not running front whip is only okay or good on settling. If you don't run front whip on Callosity, then there's just a problem.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, what are you running instead? Roots? Sharply?
Yeah, sharply. Let's go. I still think it's for Gaddy, but that was harsh. That last
My
time.
biggest concern here is like,
A hyper.
yeah, if the hyper magically kills this Barnshee.
It's not gonna kill the bunch, but Dimmag hyper though.
Dimmac hyper.
Like,
I still think at that point the Cernif probably
yeah,
runs
it
away
just
with
wins the
but,
1v1. But I'm curious if it just dies. I think it dies, honestly. It just dies from Dimmag hyper, but yeah, you finish Vola with Cernif, and then the 1v1 is in your pocket.
Actually, does the Eminent go before? No, it's not going to go before the hyper, but it might go before the Dimmac.
Yeah, that depends on the TVs, but never before Vola.
Yeah, no, the Vola 100% goes first here.
What about sharp leaf for stamina? What about rest? I don't know, Baldi, no.
Nah, some people have run Sharp Leaf on Cernif for stamina. I know Vossi ran that for a while.
Yeah, I would more understand Roots.
I mean, Roots is speed control.
Untangled. Let's see. Hyperkinetic. Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, okay, it goes on the
This-
Cernif instead. Well, this is more conventional, I guess. So then it's just the same thing onto our Cernif here, but the Cernif gets value off. The Vola dies to the Water Cutting Lily. Oh boy.
And
So now we've
synergy.
got...
Uh,
Oh, the worst of all possible worlds. Nearly 50% from a Synergy Emanip.
Yup. Bet I'm gonna finish this and it will be GG 5-3 for Exotic French.
Yes. Congratulations to all of our contestants from Temteros.
Definitely, they did a good job. They're completely starting like they are more newer players, so
Yeah, I mean, obviously Parman's been there for a while, so has Gaddy, but we've seen a lot of new faces today.
yep, definitely.
Also,
a good
quick shout
experience.
out to how well, like this match in particular, like up until the size munch happened, like that was just solid plays.
Definitely, really. We couldn't like see some of those are just starting the game like months ago.
Very fun to see. And I definitely agree, Reiner. A very fast-paced series.
Y muchas gracias los temteros que están aquí. Bien jugado, tíos. GG.
Absolutely well played to Temteros. Congratulations on Exotic French winning this charming little scrim.
Yeah, and as a secret, now I can say it. The 5th player for Exotic was Doiko.
Oh, a very new player, I see.
Yeah, maybe. Not all. So, yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, I would love to see what Doiko's running at the moment. Still, though, wow, that would have been an accolade for Temteros to have taken all of them down as well. Shout out as well to Poorman's running some fun stall inside this. Man, that one game with the double swaps was rough.
Yeah, that was like, because the game would have been totally different if he didn't do that swap there. But yeah, definitely well played. Was nice, some quite nice games and moves. I hope everyone just enjoyed it, had a nice experience. We're gonna do a little marble run as well, guys.
Yeah,
We always
don't go
finish
away just yet.
on a marble race. Few will survive because that's more funny. Mi Batem GG Exotic. Vosotros también. Joder, de verdad, muy bien jugado. Que lo que estaba explicando también en inglés es que hay gente de vosotros que ha empezado 2 meses antes de ahora, perdóname por el español, pero hago lo que puedo. Y es muy bien jugado. GG. Exclamation play, guys. Sorry, Quarter.
It's fine. I was just saying, absolutely well played. Like that. This in particular, there was a fun one to see, just because we had a nice balance between like methodical plays with some of the Gaddy games, especially against some of the slower matches, and some absolute just slugfests.
Yeah. Muchas gracias, mi Vatem. And if you read it, like Kaimi, that played first, started the game 2 weeks ago. God, that was fast.
That's actually really impressive. I didn't realize Kaimi was that new.
Yeah, Kaimi, yeah. Ha sido una gran guerra, esperamos hacer más. Claro, con placer, que siempre estamos hablando también. Si quieres hacer una otra que hablas conmigo, siempre voy a probar de hacer eso. Un placer, tíos. Muchas gracias por jugar. Good luck for the giveaway. Not the game, competitive play. Oh yeah, okay. I was telling myself 2 weeks to do the whole scenario, get a team. Like, wait, what?
Okay, 2 weeks of competitive play makes a bit more sense, but that's still very impressive.
For sure, good job. Everyone follow me. Exclamation play. Bleko is mod. Yeah, which song request, Bleko? Pose. I'm not gonna work.
Oh no.
So, exclamation play, guys, to be in the giveaway. Last call.
Hey. What are you why?
Oh, probably Cernies. Actually, can add a little thing to it for today. So we'll keep it like for the big moments, guys. Because I'm a man. I don't know. I just like the number. Number 6 and 9 are gonna win.
Oh man, sex numbers, good times.
Oh shit,
Nice.
this is Bucky gonna give me a Cerny that actually has front whip. Yes, sir. If you win, sure. I buy it like a box of 20 Cernies for giveaways. And like when I refilled the box, I was like, "What do you want, guys?" It was like full of Cernies and full and like 8 Anahairs. What do you want, tomatoes or salads?
How many people picked tomato?
Actually, like the good trait Anahair were in the 2 first days gone.
I'm not surprised. Perfect Anna here, despite being really cheap on the market, is just frustrating to breed.
Yeah, and I suppose a lot of people didn't have it because it's not your prior buy, let's say it like that.
Exactly.
I be 6, someone be my 9. I be 350k. Guys, Voldemort buying the ETC Hypoxia for 350k. If someone has one to sell, DM him.
The hypoxia bidding wars have been fierce from what I hear. I do know that our current, our resident Loali Baron Rarzi is absolutely dead set on hoarding as many of them as possible.
And guys, because Jackson just put it in the chat as well, let's do it now. If you don't know farting, please go check the link, give him a follow. He's doing PvP podcasts as well, talking about everything in PvP. An amazing caster like always. I don't need to repeat it. Go check him out.
Thank you so much. Do please check in. The podcast is every other Sunday, so it will be this coming Sunday. Sometime early, like 1300, 1400 UTC, that kind of time. And yeah, it's a comprehensive podcast just examining the PvP community, upcoming tournaments, what's happening in the meta, and how things are continuing to develop. I hope to see a lot of people there, and thank you so thank you so much for having me again. This is just so much fun.
Always a big pleasure, and it's gonna continue for a long time. Hopefully.
That's the plan.
So, guys, I think I waited enough. Everyone wanting to play is in there. I hope we will have 9 survivors. That's all. Good luck, everyone. Did you play? Oh, yeah, you're there, farting. I see you.
No, you kidding? I was first in.
Let's go. I should have go in just for the fun. But then I'm 6 or 9 and it screws everything.
That's all right. Just like roll over it if you wind up winning, right?
Yeah, but then what is the fair thing? Number like 8 or number 10? Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
So,
I mean, if you want to continue with your theme, then I mean, I guess you just picked number 4 and number 20, right?
I didn't think about that.
Okay, Soliloquy is coming in super fast there. If you want to win, you got to slow down.
Yeah, and yes, Blacko, that's actually true. I heard about people buying perfect momos to release it just to protect Temtems dying to Undermine.
But enough about what Talakai is up to.
Oh, Isye Kahazar at the lead at the moment.
Yep. Kami's close behind. Salvi's in there. I see a Setsuka. I see Lucas.
Like the bot is already in. Oh, Jackson.
Oh,
Antosik. Oh my god, Antosik was the big shortcut winning when he doesn't win.
Antos.
Hey, wait, he dropped. Wait,
He tied to his own momentum.
Yeah, he landed so quickly in. It still counts like as a number 1, but it's just funny. Airsolik, you rest in peace. Who's gonna be number 6? Very ferventi, no. Who is gonna be number 6? Nope. Rest in peace, everyone. Bad Farm. Bad Farm number 6. Who is gonna be his 9? Danman. Just reverse Danman. You're gonna be the 9.
Go. We have our winners.
GG Classics, Jax, everyone, rest in peace. But thank you for participating and trying your luck. So, number 6 and number 9 are the winners for tonight.
Congratulations again to Pat Farm and Danman. So this you get your magical choice of not only the surnames but whatever the mystery prize is.
Yeah, gonna add the Valorant there.
Oh, check that out.
I think everyone likes the design of Valorant Luma as well.
Oh yeah, actually, funnily enough, I know some people that hate it.
Oh, well, I mean,
It's got their own opinions.
yeah, it's hard to talk about opinions.
I love the design of this because I really like the contrast of the blue and the red, but some people just hate the color of the blue.
Yeah, me too. I really like it. So, like, but yeah, sure. Like, everyone has tastes. So, Pat Farm, yes, mate, you won. Congratulations. Congratulations to the both winners. What would make you happy, Pat Farm? Being number 6, you are the first. Is that Kala an option? No, I just sometimes from the Lumas I buy or catch will put them in the giveaway, but
See, that's out of your whimsy rather than all of them being a prize pool.
Yeah. I really like always have perfects in the prize pool, but yes, Pat Farm. So you have the choice between Aerobic, Valorant, Luma, Perfect Momo, but Snowstorm, and the 4 Satlings, because I had 10 Satlings and 10 Callosities, but yeah.
Remember, Botanist Spreal is also the competitive trait in Little Cup, if you so choose to join us.
True. But Pat Farm deciding to go for the Valorant. Let's go.
Fantastic. If you really want to style on people on ladder, then just run it without the egg move as like a special attack Valorant. People won't see it coming.
So, Danman, what would you like to have? And join me in the East Emporium, by the way, if you can. Statling Cernif, yes sir. Double egg move, Botanist.
Nice. Yeah, it'll be exciting to see if Spreal winds up being the thing that transfers egg moves to something in Sipanku. That Amphateer chain.
Amphateer.
Gotta hold out hope.
Water Cutting Lily is an egg move on Amphateer.
Oof. Ultimately,
coming.
it could be a hard stall tem and it passes Revitalize.
Oh, wait. NPC Ash, true.
Oh, that's the in-game name of Danman.
Yeah.
So much today.
The Pocus Luma.
Oh, man, are they a proud owner of a Pocus Luma? That is a status symbol if ever there was one.
That's one of the biggest flags. Please no more stall. I'm always gonna try to make a stall work next patch, even if it seems really hard with what they are planning, but...
Honestly, I feel like Amphitheer is probably the way in. If Amphitheer has like a reasonable support move pool, one of the potential outcomes I've seen people hypothesize for it is like, a revitalize spark spot.
Yeah, you see what I can read on him, like on his move would be Spark, Thunder Strike, Revitalize, Resin Trap. Yeah.
If it's like an electric Loali, then I could totally see that. Problem is, it could go either way. We just don't know anything about that Tem. We don't have its base stats.
True, that was, yeah. But yeah, we'll see whatever comes, because they're gonna nerf stall and buff like aggro. It's like... I don't know. We'll see. That mental Tem has Tem that has resist typing trait with Hypno and Bamboozle also. What?
Yeah, Valiar is something I'm looking forward to. It's not really that much of a spoiler because we do see it in story, and we have derived that effective denial is basically it's an equivalent to solid rock. So like a super effective resistance, if you will.
Yep.
I think the other thing that I'm hype about Valiar for is that it's a mental with actually high base HP, which is just a refreshing change. Shame about its physical shame about its bulk, but like, we can't have everything, I guess.
Sadly, nope. So yeah, Bad Farm is there. My bad, Bad Farm. Oh, it was not you. Okay, so someone else wanted to trade me. Oh, why did I... True. G mate. It's right, so I'm trading myself. It feels great.
Oh yeah, you're just casually trading yourself.
It's like,
I've had this occasion. I'm like, what?
But Valash people not, and I don't think so.
Yeah, just give Valash Undermine. What's the worst that could happen?
True, like, why not? So, let me just take 2 seconds, a look. Well, yep. We are gonna make a lovely raid to plus OP, guys.
Fantastic. As a closing sentiment, I actually agree with Pat Farm. I think swapping Mithridatism for Hurry Wart on Osiara would be really cool.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, like that would make it usable.
Yep. Give away to yourself.
See Serbatio's Wrath potentially.
I mean, I played it in a priest team, and I actually got a couple of server Wraths off, but
Did they do what you wanted?
Sorry, what?
Did they like? Did the move work? For you?
Yeah, it worked. It worked. Nice. But it's because like I was playing a niche Momo Snowstorm full speed Oshiara, so I just instantly freeze someone, the one that is like threatening my Oshiara, and then I get Aqua Whirlwind, kill the other one, and then the Cerberus gets full speed.
Yeah, of course. The freeze gives you the momentum that you need.
Yep.
No, awesome, that makes sense.
Sorry. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna finish soon. It's gonna get to the raid anyways, guys. So thank you for being there. Really appreciate it. I hope to see you back tomorrow, guys. Like always, 10 p.m. CET. Again, go check Farting alias Quarter. Would be really my pleasure. A follow just costs 2 seconds and you will otherwise miss some great content. Thank you again for being there. Love you guys. Wish you a good night and see you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye bye, everyone.
That was just